How you doing? It's over and over and over again. We're live, and this is going to be the Chelsea versus Arsenal watch along. Sorry, bit delayed there. I've just got back from playing five-a-side, so I'm in I'm a bit hot at the moment, but we are ready to go. So this is going to be Chelsea versus Arsenal live watch along. Hello, good evening. I'm Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over and over again. This is the Chelsea versus Arsenal live watch along. The team's just coming out now. Just before we get started, I just really wanted to put this message out on the screen from Kevin. He's been a big fan of the channel. He says, "Hi Richard, I just want to say a big thank you for this site. Over the last 2 years, I've been fighting throat and neck cancer and had my voice box taken out. This site has given me so much pleasure. Really sorry to hear about your illness, Kevin. Real thanks for your support of the channel. You've been a big fan, and your support's been really helpful to me as well. So hope you're obviously feeling okay. And so nice to hear messages like that of support. Obviously, really upset about you, but I hope you're going to be fine. And Kevin, Russ as well as in the chat there. Good evening, Richard. Good evening, Russ. How you doing? And he says, a lovely message from Kevin. Indeed, it is. Hope he's wishing him all the best, of course. Good Stillman says, 2-1. Well, that'll be nice. 2-1 win will do, won't it? And Terry says, hi and good evening, Richard. Can you give a shout out to Kevin Channing? Big up, you mate. Hang in there. Hope all goes well. Exactly, yeah. We all echo that as well. Best wishes, obviously, to Kevin. The teams are out now. I haven't actually. I've just got in from playing five-a-side, so I haven't had a chance to look at the team. I will just. I'll just have a quick look now. Let's have a look. I must have a notification in from the team. Let's have a look. I'm sure there will be. Actually, it's just coming up on the screen anyway. So Chelsea have got 3 at the back: Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, and Kurt Zouma, who's coming in for Christensen, who got injured at the weekend, didn't he? They've got James, Jorginho, Billy Gilmore, and Ben Chilwell as their 4 across midfield. And their front 3 tonight's Pulisic, Havertz, and Mason Mount. So there's no Werner in the starting lineup for Chelsea tonight, actually. He's on the bench, along with Giroud, of course, our old mate, Olivier Giroud. Callum Hudson-Odoi is on the bench as well, Marcus Alonso, and Emerson as well, Ziyech. Now the Arsenal team, it's Leno in goal. I thought Matt Ryan maybe might have got the nod. Looks like we've got a back 3 according to this. Rob Holding, Gabriel and Mari. So the first time Gabriel and Mari are starting a game together. That's interesting, isn't it? Then it's Saka, El Neni, Partey and Tierney. I'm assuming Tierney's probably left back, isn't he? With Partey and El Neni in midfield and Saka probably on the right. It's Ødegaard and Smith Rowe. I'm guessing Smith Rowe probably more on the left and Aubameyang up front. So no Martinelli for Arsenal. He scored that great goal, didn't he, last season in this game? But he's only on the bench tonight, along with Pepe, Chambers, Suarez, Willian, Lacazette, Ceballos, Bellerin, and Matt Ryan. I'm a bit surprised Matt Ryan's not starting. If the news about Leno wanting to leave or going to leave is true, then I'm surprised about that. They've kind of lined up as though it's Saka as a right wing back and Tierney left wing back. I don't think that's going to be how we'll line up, is it? I don't know. We'll see anyway. Mind you, you've got Holding, Gabriel and Mari, I suppose. It is 3 centre-backs there. Be unusual because it'd be an unusual system, but maybe Arteta's trying different things. We've wanted him to try different things in these last few games, haven't we? So maybe that's what he's done. So we'll see how that works out once the game gets going. We'll see how that plays out, actually. But anyway, so Christensen's obviously out for Chelsea, and it's funny, isn't it? All our Chelsea players that we've got, ex-Chelsea players, Willian and David Luiz. Of course, I'm not playing tonight. David Luiz is still injured, and Willian is on the bench. So that's our lineup. looks like we're going to be attacking the Matthew Harding stand, I think it is, in the first half, which is the end to our right as we look. I think that's the Matthew Harding stand, isn't it? And it's the shed end at the other end. Or is it the other way around? No, I think that might be the shed end, isn't it? Because they changed the ground around the other way around, didn't they, when they redesigned it, I think. Not been at Stamford Bridge for a while, actually. A few years now. It's not the greatest away in, though, is it? If you're tucked away in that bottom corner, especially if you're near the back. But anyway, it was a good trip last year, or by all accounts, wasn't it, that 2-2 draw when Bellerin scored in the last minute when we were down to 10 men. David Luiz, of course, got sent off. He actually does look like a free at the back. With Saka is like a right wing back and Tierney's left wing back. So it is a different system for Arteta actually in this game. Interesting. See how that works out. It looks like it's actually Ødegaard in the number 10 position and Smith Rowe maybe more over to the left-hand side, which is how Arteta kind of likes it, doesn't he, actually? But anyway, I mean, if we're not signing Ødegaard, or it doesn't look like there's much likely that we will, I can't see the point of playing him in these games. Honestly, I can't. The same with Ceballos. Obviously, he's not playing tonight. I'll say if Leno wants to go, I don't know why we're playing him either. But anyway, Aubameyang's playing through the middle again tonight. Obviously, he did. He got that goal in against Newcastle the other week, a couple of weeks ago now, playing in that position. He's come back, of course, from malaria. So that's good to see him get him back to full fitness. It's hopefully that he can start knocking a few more goals in between now and the end of the season. Obviously, disappointing total for him. He's not going to finish top scorer at this rate, is he? Terry said, my worry is we don't turn up tonight and take a heavy defeat. I know it don't really matter, but it's a pride thing for me. Now, of course, I mean, it's Chelsea, isn't it? We don't want to, we've had a few hammerings off Chelsea over the years. In fact, it's almost 10 years since we last won at Stamford Bridge. And we've had a couple of draws in recent years. I say 2-2 last year. We did draw 0-0 in the semi-final of the League Cup a couple of years back as well, didn't we, at Stamford Bridge? And a 0-0 draw in the league the same season, I think. So, in recent years, it's been slightly better. We still haven't managed to win there, but at least we're not getting defeats. If you remember, our last defeat, it was Unai Emery's second game, wasn't it? When we lost 3-2. Exciting first half to that game. And then we conceded a late winner, I seem to remember, when we had plenty of chances that day, didn't we, to have got a victory. But anyway, we didn't quite manage it that day. Shane's in the chat. Shane, he says, Hi, Rich. Normally I'm excited all day for a match, but excitement zapped out of me since Villarreal game. Exactly the same. I feel exactly the same, mate. It's the season's finished, isn't it? As far as mentally, it's finished, isn't it? And we've got these last few games to play. Maybe a chance to say Arteta's trying a new system tonight. It may be an opportunity to see a few different things in the last few games. Maybe might give us some indicators about how we might set up next season a little bit more. Maybe we'll have to see how this three at the back system works. I say we've been sort of wondering about Gabriel and Pablo Mari playing together. We were more thinking, I think, in a back four, wasn't we? How they would get on with the two left footers. But they're in a back three tonight. And it looks like Mari's more in the centre of the three. Gabriel's over there on the left and Rob Holding's the right of the three centre backs. That seems to be how they've set up so far. And it's Gabriel in possession at the moment, actually, over on that far side. Plays the ball into midfield to Smith Rowe. And let's see. We've lost the ball again. Chelsea have picked it up in midfield. Be interesting in Chelsea's approach as well. Obviously, they need the points, don't they, for the top four. But they've got the FA Cup final to come at the weekend, and then the Champions League final a couple of weeks later. So they've got bigger fish to fry, I guess. And of course, they play Man City in the final, don't they? They've got a decent record against them. They've beaten them twice in recent weeks in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and of course in the Premier League at the weekend away from home. That was a really impressive victory for Chelsea. That against the newly crowned champions, of course, Man City sealed the title last night, didn't they? Well, they didn't even play, but Man United didn't win. So City got the title the third time in 4 years for them. But you can see Chelsea building a decent side here for next season. I think they'll be, with Thomas Tuchel as manager, he's a really good coach, isn't he? He knows what he's doing, seems to be able to get the best out of his team. See the improvements that they've made since Lampard went. They've only lost one Premier League game since January, since Tuchel came in. And that was here, actually, at Stamford Bridge. They got beaten 5-2 by West Brom, actually, surprisingly. That was a real surprise result, wasn't it, a few weeks ago? Just a one-off as well, because they don't concede many goals. We've just had the first shot of the game there. Mason Mount, it was for Chelsea from the left-hand edge of the penalty area, but it went straight into the arms of Bernd Leno. He lacked a bit of pace. And we tried to get a quick counter-attack there, actually, with Kieran Tierney. But Chelsea, and they were patient in their possession. The ball came back from Pulisic. It came back to Mason Mount, and he just drilled a shot straight at Bernd Leno. So I'm a bit surprised Matt Ryan isn't playing in this game. Bernd Leno, if there's talk of him wanting to leave at the end of the season. It's funny, isn't it, after what happened last summer with Martinez and Bernd Leno, and this year it seems like Bernd Leno wants to leave. Crazy situation. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Wouldn't mind if we sign Matt Ryan permanently, actually. I think he's a decent goalkeeper. He's looked solid when he's played. A couple of games that he has played, he's done well. 3 games he's played. Of course, he played recently, didn't he, in the victory up at Newcastle. And then say he looks solid goalkeeper, so I wouldn't mind signing him. But I do feel as though we would need another goalkeeper as backup. I just don't feel as though Renarsson is quite up to it, is he, by all accounts? Although, of course, you've got Arthur Okonkwo, the young goalkeeper, supposed to be signing a new contract. We'll have to see how he is, how he progresses as well, maybe. But you don't get many young goalkeepers playing in the Premier League very regularly. Thomas Gunner's in the chat there. Good evening, Richard, and everyone else. Hope we put up a battle for our prize. Exactly, that's what we want to see. Regardless of the result, because the result doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's about playing for pride, isn't it? We're Arsenal. And this is a London derby, and the least that we want is the players to show a bit of pride. I think we all know Chelsea are a better team than us, quite clearly, the season that they've had. But if we can battle and put in a good performance and a good account of ourselves, and I think we will all be reasonably satisfied, even if the result doesn't go our way. But it is still 0-0, 7 minutes gone. Chelsea have maybe had the slight better of things so far. They've had that one shot from Mason Mount. And they've dominated the possession so far, but we look in a decent shape actually without the ball. It's a new system. We've obviously been working on it, I would assume, over the last few weeks, or maybe the last week or so. I don't know whether Arteta's been thinking of this. Of course, we did used to play 3 at the back, didn't we? A while back. Last season, we played it a few times, and even I think at the start of this season as well, a couple of games, didn't we? I seem to remember. But we haven't played this system for a while. So we'll see how that works out. But we've certainly looked pretty solid so far, actually, in terms of defensive shape. Anyway, Aubameyang now coming forward down that far side for Arsenal. Arsenal's left. Finds Kieran Tierney outside him, but the offside flag's up. I think it must have been against Aubameyang, actually, in the build-up to that. But you can see how we may be setting out to soak up the pressure and then try and catch Chelsea on a counter-attack. And we'll see how that works as the game progresses. So far, it's certainly the first part of that's working pretty well defensively. I think we're looking pretty solid at the moment, and we just had that one counter attack which Aubameyang was offside. But Arsenal back in possession now down this near side. Rob Holding, I say he's played on the right of the 3 centre backs, and Pablo Mari in the middle's got the ball now. Plays it out to the left to Gabriel. That's the shape that we've got, with Tierney pushed on the left, almost in a left wing position almost, and Saka on the right, although he's drifted in here, finds Ødegaard. That's a good ball actually to Aubameyang now on this near side. Saka's gone ahead of him in the central position. Saka's got in behind the Chelsea defence there. He's done well. He got in behind Kurt Zouma, finds Ødegaard, but the linesman's flag's up again. He didn't look offside there, Saka. It looked like he came from behind Kurt Zouma. Have to see a replay of that, but anyway, he's been given as offside, Saka. But again, we look reasonably dangerous on a counter-attack there. Aubameyang made a good run in down this right-hand side. Saka sprinted off him. Oh, I don't think he was offside. I don't think he was. I thought the flag was supposed to stay down until the play went dead and then go to VAR. But anyway, El Neni then picks the ball up, and now Ødegaard's got a bit of space down this near side. Can he get across? And he does into the near post, but it's headed away. Good header actually by Spilicueta, I think it was, for Chelsea. But it was a slip actually. I think it was Mason Mount who slipped. El Neni picked the ball up, played it down the line to Martin Ødegaard, and his crosser was headed away just on the edge of the 6-yard box. But now Chelsea are coming forward again, are they? But the referee's blown his whistle again. 10 minutes played. Aubameyang's made two good runs actually, and he looks knackered already. But anyway, I'm sure he'll settle into the game. Of course, he has played a bit, hasn't he, since he came back from malaria. Good to see him back in the team. Just to say that, my computer decides it needs to do a Windows update, which is great, isn't it? So we're not going to be able to follow the action just for a few minutes while the computer updates itself. Hopefully it's not one of them long updates. What I'll try and do in the meantime is I'll try and get it on here. That's probably the best way to do it. Otherwise, we won't be able to get very far, will we?
Drives in. Cuts across Pablo Marie.
It was just a shot there by the look of it from Chelsea. From Havertz actually had that shot there. And it's a goal kick to Arsenal, which Leno takes. Goes long into the Chelsea half, and it's gone out for a throw over on the far side to Chelsea.
3 goals in his last 3 league matches.
Chelsea knocking it around quite nicely at the back there, but Arsenal pick the ball up, but Chelsea again win it back, and it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal over on the far side. And Giroud, of course, on the bench there for Chelsea. I wonder if he'll get to come on later. Of course, he did score over 100 goals for Arsenal, Olivier Giroud. Very underrated player, I felt, for Arsenal. He never really got the credit he deserved. He gave us that good option as well, didn't he? So good at holding the ball out of his back to play. Really, really good centre forward. And yeah, it's a shame he's never really got the total credit that he deserved, maybe, for a decent Arsenal career. So over 100 goals for the club in that exclusive band of players that have scored that many for Arsenal. Anyway, we're coming forward now. We did have a corner over on that far side, which we took short. Ball's gone back to Kieran Tierney. Can he get a cross in? Tries to get past Spilicueta, but he does manage to get a low cross into the near post, but Chelsea clear it away. Just a short corner. I don't know why we insist on playing short corners. Sometimes we've got to put them in a box, haven't we? Make the defence, put the defence under pressure. But we have got a throw on the far side, midway inside the Arsenal half, inside the Chelsea half. Sorry, Kieran Tierney's just taken and thrown it back to Gabriel. We're starting to get a foothold in this game now, actually. We're starting to play a lot better. A shot comes in there from distance. It's deflected, but it actually falls to Rob Holding on the far side. He whips across it over, hit it, though, to the far side. It's going to go all the way across to Kieran Tierney over on the far side. A little bit of an opportunity there to maybe set an attack going. It was a shot got deflected to Rob Holding, and I think he was a bit surprised to be in that position, actually. And he overhit the cross. He went right away across to the far side, and then it was cleared away by Chelsea. Right, my computer's updated itself now, so we should be back in action, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we are. We're back. So we're back to where we were before. I do apologise for that. Just computer decided to update without my permission. It's a bit naughty, isn't it? But anyway, Terry says there, Ryan's never let us down. Why he's playing Leno if he wants to leave? Yeah, exactly. Why is he playing Leno? I did say that. If that's true that he wants to leave, unless he's playing him because he wants to try and convince him to stay, I guess that's the other side, maybe. I don't know. But we'll see. A good ball played forward there towards Saka on this near side. He's very far up the pitch, actually, Saka, in this system, which is good. Thomas Partey there with a cross towards the far side, but it wasn't a great cross actually. And Reece James come across and heads it back to the goalkeeper for Chelsea. It's actually Kepa tonight. It's not Mendy. Of course, he's their first choice goalkeeper. Had a good season for Chelsea, hasn't he? It's of course Kepa, who much criticised he's been, hasn't he, in his Chelsea career. A few crazy moments that he's had, but then most goalkeepers then do have a few. Oh, it's an own goal, is it? Oh, he just saved it like it was going to be an own goal for Kovacic. We've scored anyway. Yes, we have. Smith Rowe again, 2 in a row for him. Disaster for Chelsea at the back then. I think it was Jorginho's back pass was almost an own goal. And it was just talking about Kepa. He had to run back. He made a good save, actually. Managed to scoop the ball off the line. And then the ball fell to Aubameyang and he pulled it back for Smith Rowe to tap into the far corner. It's not often that we lead at Stamford Bridge, but this was a disaster for Chelsea. Terrible back pass there. He didn't look. Kepa was miles out of his goal. He did manage to scramble back, but the ball only came to Aubameyang. Good movement from Smith Rowe and a simple task just to tap it into the corner. A total disaster from Chelsea's point of view. Almost an own goal, but Smith Rowe's glad it wasn't because he took the glory himself, actually put it in off the post. He almost actually missed it, an open goal. But anyway, he did get it in. It was a good save, actually, from the goalkeeper. And then Aubameyang put it on a plate for Smith Rowe. He actually miskicked it. And it went in off the bottom of the post. Bit fortunate there for Smith Rowe, but his second goal in 2 games, that might shut up Arteta up, who basically said that he hasn't scored enough goals. So that's the best way to respond to criticism like that, isn't it? By scoring at 16 minutes gone. A great start from Arsenal. And Terry says there, has VAR not chalked it off yet? No, not yet. It has stood. It is 1-0. I don't know what they could chalk it off for. But anyway, we are 1-0 up. I can't remember last time we were 1-0 up at Chelsea. Probably the last time we won, maybe 10 years ago, possibly. I can't remember us going 1-0 up there in the league since then, actually. It's usually, we're normally coming from behind, aren't we? We came from behind twice last season. So unusually, we're leading at Chelsea, which is good. Shane says there, my God, he's just done an Arsenal. I love to see ESR score. Yeah, it's good that he scored. Yeah, he nearly missed it, didn't he? It was a bit of a catalogue of errors, that whole thing, a terrible back pass. It was a decent save, actually, by the goalkeeper. He had to scramble back, didn't he? And then Smith Rowe rather miskicked the shot. And it bobbled in off the far post. But Jorginho, of course, who was linked to a move to Arsenal, wasn't he? He almost like he started playing for Arsenal there with that effort there that helped to create the goal. But I say we just started to get into the game, actually, in the previous 5 minutes to that goal. We had a couple of better moments and it was nice to see it's been rewarded. Too often this season we've had good spells in games, not managed to score. And then, of course, we've gone behind and then it's been a struggle. So, but away from home this season, though, we've done well. We haven't lost since February, the game at Aston Villa. That's 5 Premier League games in a row without defeat away, 3 wins and 2 draws coming into this game. So it's good away form. And quite often as well, playing a team just before a cup final is a good time to play them, isn't it? Because, you know, I know they're focused on the league and they will want to win and get the top 4, but it's obvious that minds are going to be elsewhere. But anyway, Mason Mount now on a run into the box, but Rob Holding does well. Saka comes back to help out, and is that a free kick or no? We play on, and Arsenal can now launch another counter attack. Aubameyang lays it off to Smith Rowe. Of course, it was those two that combined for the goal a couple of minutes ago. It's the sort of goal that we usually concede, which is what Shane was alluding to there. It was a very Arsenal goal to concede that, wasn't it? For a side that's been so solid at the back in Chelsea, haven't they, since Tuchel come in, haven't conceded many goals at all. But they did have a shocker against West Brom recently, conceded 5. And maybe this is our opportunity. Of course, the last time we won here, we scored 5, didn't we? That 5-3 victory. Robin Van Persie's penalty, of course, if you remember. And it was Andre Santos who scored one of them, and Theo Walcott, who had a good goal-scorer record against Chelsea, actually, didn't he, Theo Walcott? He scored against them quite a lot, didn't he? League Cup final, FA Cup semi-final. a couple in the league at Stamford Bridge, a couple at the Emirates as well. So, yeah, he had a good record against Chelsea, Theo Walcott. Not too many players in recent years, have they? We haven't scored many goals against Chelsea. In fact, certainly away from home. I mean, the last 2 seasons, we've scored 2 on each occasion in the league. But prior to that, we'd only scored 2 in the previous 7. So we've not scored many goals in this stadium in recent years. But it was a good one there from ESR to put us 1-0 up very early on in this game. So let's see if we can build on this lead. Chelsea have been a bit sloppy actually since the goal. They're just giving the ball away there to Thomas Partey. Now Ødegaard coming forward in the middle of the pitch. He's got Saka to his right and Aubameyang just off to his left actually. Another counter-attack from Arsenal. He tries to feed the ball through to Aubameyang, but it's played just slightly behind him actually. And Chelsea have managed to clear that up. And Chelsea now coming forward. It's Kurt Zouma down this near side. A long ball over the top, which is going to run all the way through to Bernd Leno. So 20 minutes, nearly 21 minutes played at Stamford Bridge. Of course, the first meeting between these sides at this stadium with no fans in as well. Of course, the game last season, that 2-2 draw was a few weeks, wasn't it, before the whole lockdown happened. And now we're sort of coming out of it, aren't we? There's going to be fans in the stadiums from Monday, the final 2 rounds of league matches next week. Of course, we're away at Crystal Palace next Wednesday. And then, of course, our last home game against Brighton, where 10,000 tickets are being sold. Be interesting to see how many actually come to the game, because the protests are going on before that as well. If you really want the owners out of the way, it's really to boycott the games, isn't it? But anyway, that's another story. Paul's in from the Tomb Review. How are you doing, Paul? Thanks for watching. He says, swap Joe Linton for Smith Rowe. Maybe for St. Maximin, then we might be able to talk then. You know, come back to me with that offer and we can talk. But not for Joe Linton, I'm afraid. I mean, I wouldn't want to lose Smith Rowe anyway, if I'm totally honest. But Chelsea now coming forward. Chance for an equaliser. Mason Mount shot. I think it hit Rob Holding. That was close for an equaliser there for Chelsea, actually. Quick break down their left-hand side. I think it was Reece James got to the byline. Actually, it might have been Pulisic, and pulled the ball back to Mason Mount, and his shot there looked like it was heading in actually, and it hit Rob Holding. I don't know if he knew too much about it, but it's good positioning actually from Holding anyway, in front of Bernd Leno. He may have been slightly wrong-footed by the shot, but anyway. Yeah, it's definitely. I definitely want St. Maximin from Newcastle. There's no doubt about that. It'd massively improve our forward play, and obviously, you know, Joe Willock's the one, isn't he? That doing well at Newcastle. Is it 5 goals he's got, and he scored in the last 4 Premier League games as well. So I'm sure there's going to be negotiations going on there. Won't there, over the summer? I think between the clubs for Joe Willock, and I'm sure that. Wouldn't be a surprise if St. Maximin may be included in or certainly in the negotiations. Anyway, I'm sure Arsenal will try to get him. He's had a great impact. Anyway, Aubameyang now seems to have blood coming from his mouth. Not quite sure if he took a knock there. He's going to have to go off and get that seen to a call, because you can't play with blood. But they're just showing it the Chelsea charts here. Actually, it was Pulisic that pulled the ball back to Mason Mount. I mean, there could be a shout of handball, actually, but his arms were down by his side, Rob Holding. He was in the right place at the right side. In fact, it did hit his hand. It definitely did hit his hand, actually, but his hand was by his side, and the ball was coming at him at great pace, about 2 yards. So, I mean, it would have been a ridiculously harsh penalty, but we have seen him given this season. Let's not forget. So, Terry's in the chat again. He says, glad we're winning, but I still think we need 2 more. 2 more. Giroud's about to come on and score against us as he normally does. Well, I don't know about 2 more. I mean, you've got to wonder how really motivated Chelsea are for this game, with a cup final coming up at the weekend. You know, they have made a few changes to the side that won at Man City, and yes, they need the points to finish in the top 4. Of course they do. They're not just going to roll over, I'm sure, but sometimes it's easy. As I said, it's a good time to play a team, isn't it? Just before they're playing in a cup final. You know, the players that are playing, in the back of their mind, are thinking of injuries and stuff like that, aren't they? Or, you know, maybe making a mistake that could cost them a place, as Jorginho's just done for the goal. So, you know, there's a lot of sort of more pressure on Chelsea, I think, in this game. You know, we're obviously relaxed. We've got nothing to play for realistically in the league, although there is that Europa Conference League, of course, 7th place in the league might be enough for that, we're being told. So we were, 4 points off that coming into this game. Obviously, there's another 2 games to play still after this. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, do we want to be in the Conference League? I think from a financial point of view, probably yes. In terms of the quality of the competition, then probably not. But it is an opportunity, isn't it, to blood young players in the team next season. If we're not in Europe at all, then we're not really going to get the opportunity to do that much, are we? Because we're only going to have the Premier League, the League Cup and the FA Cup. And if we're not in Europe, we really do want to try to put in a good run in both those 2 competitions, don't we? That's the ideal scenario next season. If we're not in Europe, we've got to go strong in all the competitions, haven't we? So there isn't going to be a lot of chance to blood the younger players. They're just showing a goal again. Oh, Smith Rowe nearly missed that, you know. You'd be gutted, wouldn't you, not to score that? Pretty much an open goal from, 6 yards, 7 yards. He did scuff it, actually, but it did just go into that corner. You could see the relief on his face, actually, and a few annoyed, disappointed Chelsea players, particularly Jorginho. Of course, it was his back pass that led to that opportunity. But good play from Aubameyang, actually. He read the situation well, and it was a good pullback for Smith Rowe. And Shane said, imagine what Drogba and Henry would be like playing in the Premier League today. They would bully the defence tonight. Yeah, you've got to say, haven't you, that some of those great players from a few years ago, I don't believe this has been a quality Premier League season at all. I really don't. Man City are obviously they're the best team in it. I think we knew that anyway. I don't think it's great quality. I mean, you look at some of the teams challenging in the top 4, the top 6. You know, certainly in Premier League history, they're not some of the greatest teams, are they? They're really not. Oh, Chelsea got a chance there. Bernd Leno with a save. I think that was Havertz, was it, with the shot? Good save, actually, from Bernd Leno. It was a good move from Chelsea. I think it was Mason Mount played him in. And it was a shot across Leno from that left-hand side of the penalty area, going into the far corner. But Leno got down well, saying he maybe shouldn't have played, but he just made a good save, actually. He made a good save earlier. Well, he made a save earlier as well, didn't he? But I think it was Mason Mount with a shot. Mason Mount again's getting clear down that near side. Plays across it again, but Leno's dealt with that really well. It's been a pretty competent start for Leno, actually, in this game tonight. It was a good play, actually. It was Mason Mount's shot. Havertz set him up. And it was a good shot going across the goalkeeper. He did well, actually, Leno, to push that out. It was into a dangerous area, but it fell to an Arsenal body. It was El Neni, in actual fact. And we managed to deal with it. And we've got Kevin in the chat as well. How you doing, Kevin? Hope you're okay, mate. Thanks for your message earlier as well. Much appreciated. And I'm glad you're enjoying the channel, and I hope you're feeling okay. So Arsenal, they're coming forward again. Rob Holding. So this back three seems to be working okay, doesn't it, so far? Obviously, we are 1-0 up. And apart from 1 or 2 little opportunities for Chelsea, I say Butler just made a good save there. We're looking okay at the back, aren't we? Against, they are a good side, Chelsea. Let's remember that they are a good side. The possession stats up there, 61% possession for Chelsea so far, as you'd kind of expect, really. But we have looked dangerous when we have countered on them, and every time we go forward, we are looking quite dangerous. Smith Rowe there, all trying to play the ball through to Tierney, but he got it wrong, and it's just going to roll back through to goalkeeper Kepler, who actually made a decent save in the build-up to our goal. Shane says, if we didn't score that goal, would it have been a back pass? He did handle it. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure if that would have been given as a back pass. I think if it's an intentional, I don't know actually, because it was an intentional back pass, wasn't it? That's an interesting point. Actually, I don't know what would have happened if we hadn't scored. Would they have given a free kick, an indirect free kick? I don't know. Because yeah, I mean, technically it was a back pass, and he did handle it, didn't he? So yeah, that's interesting. That yeah, I suppose you could look at it and say it's a red card, then, isn't it? Because he's denied a goal scoring opportunity with a handball, which he shouldn't. Wasn't allowed to handle it, was it? It'd be just like a defender handle it on the line, technically. But anyway, none of that really it matters now because we did score. But it would be an interesting point, actually. I wonder what would have happened if we hadn't scored. Would the ref have given a free kick? That is a really good point. But anyway, we have got the goal. That's the main thing. But Chelsea are coming forward again. They've certainly looked dangerous in these last 5 minutes. They're coming forward again down the near side. But Pablo Mari does well, actually, against Havertz. And we clear the ball up to halfway to Kurt Zouma. You look through this Chelsea team, actually. I did say it the other day, the Man City game, that, yes, they're a very good team. They've got some good players, especially attacking players. But I don't think their defence individually are much better than ours. I mean, look at it. Kurt Zouma has always got a mistake in him, hasn't he? Quite clumsy. Yes, he's good in the air. He's strong and he's quick, but he does make a lot of mistakes, doesn't he? I don't think. Azpilicueta's they're playing it. He's playing in a back three. I wouldn't say that's his strongest position. He's a good fullback, Azpilicueta, but again, I wouldn't say he's a decent central defender. So I'll say I think Chelsea got a chance of days. Header onto the top of the crossbar there from Pulisic. Obviously, one of their real quality forward players, isn't he, Pulisic? He was playing really well in the FA Cup final, wasn't he, when he had to go off with that injury before Chelsea were reduced to 10 men. But that's a dangerous ball, actually, there into the corner, into the box. It was Kurt Zouma actually caused the problem. He's strong in the air. But I say, you could see if Kurt Zouma played in our defence with the opportunities that we allow other teams, you could see him being a bit of a liability possibly. But he's having a good season for Chelsea. Let's give him that. He scored a few goals from set pieces as well. But I don't think individually Chelsea's defence is better than ours. But they're a better unit, aren't they? They defend better as a unit, and that's why their record is so good. And of course, they have got some outstanding attacking talent, haven't they? Which has cost them a lot of money, of course, as we know. They spent a lot of money, didn't they, last summer? And of course, that was one of the reasons why Lampard didn't survive the season, underperforming like that. Kevin says a goalkeeper sent off a handball inside his area could have happened. I mean, yes, I suppose it could have done. I don't really know what the ruling is with that, actually, because technically, yes, I hadn't really thought about that earlier until Shane mentioned it. But yeah, I suppose it was a back pass, and he did handle it if he didn't handle it, it goes in, doesn't it? So technically, it would have been denying a goal opportunity, wouldn't it? Because it would have gone in. So be interesting to know if anybody knows what the actual rules of the game are with regards to that. What would have happened if? But anyway, I suppose it's a little bit irrelevant because we did. But it's an interesting point, though, isn't it? I think that's quite an interesting thing to see what the situation would have been. It's not often you see that, is it? Actually, incidents like that. It's not happened very often. So there's not much out there that you can go back on and think, well, that happened last time, because I can't think of one off the top of my head. But anyway, thankfully, it's not. It hasn't proved to be an issue because I say we did score the goal, and we are 1-0 up away at Chelsea. I say it's been a long time since that's been the case, isn't it? And I say, maybe the fixtures have fell kindly for us in a sense. Just 3 days before Chelsea play in the FA Cup final, of course, the FA Cup that we are still until Saturday the holders of, aren't we? Until either Chelsea or Leicester win it. Of course, Leicester have never won the FA Cup, have they? I think they're the team that's been in the most finals without actually winning one. I think this will be their 5th final, won't it? They've lost the previous 4. Hopefully this is their year. Be nice for Leicester, won't it? They've had a good season again. And of course, I've got some good friends on Leicester Fan TV and also on the Fox's Arms as well. Great guys they are. So I'll be really chuffed for them if they can win. And of course, as well, it denies Chelsea the cup as well, which is nice. The less trophies that Chelsea win, the better. So that's another reason to get behind Leicester at the weekend, isn't it? But I'll certainly be cheering for them anyway, without a shadow of a doubt. I think they deserve a trophy for the, they've had a good couple of seasons actually, haven't they, under Brendan Rodgers, and it'd be nice for them to get that trophy. But that's going to be an interesting game, isn't it? Very close in the league as well, aren't they? In third and fourth place, so it's going to be good, isn't it, to see? It could be a good final actually. Shane says, would Chelsea give City a run for the league if they sign Harry Kane and Grealish? Ooh, they could be capable of trying to get them in the summer. Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of attacking talent already, haven't they? I think maybe they possibly need to strengthen defensively if they're going to challenge for the title next season. I say individually, I don't think their defenders are great. Obviously, Tuchel's got them well organised, so I think with a couple of better defenders in there, that's going to really be a massive bonus to them. And yes, obviously, Harry Kane would score goals, wouldn't he? I'm not sure if he'd go to Chelsea personally, but yeah, they have lacked, haven't they, an actual 25-goal striker, haven't they? I mean, Werner will probably score more goals next season. You'd imagine his second season. He certainly missed enough chances to have got 30 goals this season, hasn't he? So that could be, maybe he'll push on next year and go on and get more goals. Oh, a mistake there from Saka in a penalty there to Chilwell. But Leno's cut out the cross and it fell to, I can't see who it was actually. Was it Mason Mount again? But Arsenal managed to scramble it clear. It was a mistake actually from Saka. He tried to let the ball run out, but Chilwell pinched it off him, drilled across into the box. Leno did well again. It was El Neni actually who dived in front of Mason Mount to get the ball out for a corner, which Mason Mount is now going to take. He's been at the heart of a lot of things for Chelsea. Another dangerous ball. The header comes in from Thiago Silva, was it? Actually, I think it might have came off Gabriel. It's going to be another corner to Chelsea over on the far side. But Leno's actually done all right in his first half. He's made a couple of good saves, and he's been at the heart of some good defensive work that we've done. Just Saka got caught out there. Of course, Arteta did say, didn't he, the other day, that he needs to improve his defensive, some of his defensive play, and he showed it there. He's a little bit of inexperience, but he's not really a fullback, is he? So you can forgive him. And he has looked dangerous going forward again for us. Maybe this wing-back position could be something he can grow into. Of course, he has played that for England as well, hasn't he? Another cross comes in from Chelsea. This was Tierney that headed that away. It has come out to Chilwell. He finds Pulisic on his left-hand side. Again, he's facing Thomas Partey this time. It's a good ball actually by Pulisic. Again, it's Tierney with the header. And Arsenal managed to scramble the ball clear. This time, Saka's over on the left-hand side. But it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. A little bit of chaotic defending at times there from Arsenal, but it's been effective. We've managed to get the ball away. And we are now, 8 minutes away, 7.5 minutes away from half-time. And we are still leading 1-0, which I say is very unusual at Stamford Bridge for us to get the first goal. I'm just trying to think when the last time we went 1-0 up, because even the last time we won the 5-3, we were 1-0 down in that game. So I can't actually remember the last time we were 2-1 up. And the previous time that we won in 2008, we were 1-0 down at half-time and came back and won 2-1. I think Robin Van Persie got both those goals, didn't he, in the second half that day? That was that was one of my last trips to Stamford Bridge, I think. Actually, I think 2007, 2008, when we finished third, actually. We got 83 points that season. We played Chelsea away towards the end of the season. Bakary Sagna scored, and I'm sure that put us 1-0 up. That might be the last time we went 1-0 up in the league at Chelsea, in fact, at Chelsea at all. So that's a long time ago, isn't it? And we end up losing that game. Let's hope that history doesn't repeat itself then tonight. I think the season before that, Flamini scored, didn't he? Put us 1-0 up. And then, was it Michael Essien scored that equaliser from about 35 yards? Anyway, Chelsea now coming forward with Jorginho. He's going to be looking to try and make up for that mistake. Because if you remember, actually, Mikel Arteta's first game in charge of Arsenal at home was against Chelsea, and Jorginho scored, didn't he, when he should have been sent off in that game. So maybe there's a bit of just desserts there tonight when that mistake for our goal. But anyway, Chelsea are still coming forward down the far side. They're being patient actually with this build up down our left hand side. Ball comes back now to Thiago Silva. Played into midfield. Chelsea pinging it around pretty well. Jorginho again. It's Reece James there. Plays out to the far side. It's inside the penalty area now to to Havertz, sorry. Comes back to Reece James again. Tries to get across him, but it's blocked by Emile Smith-Rowe. But again, we can't get the ball out of our half at the moment. Chelsea piling on the pressure here as we head towards half-time. 5.5 minutes until the break. The ball played over the top. And again, Kieran Tierney heads it away inside his own penalty area. And there's a handball there. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. There's a handball by a Chelsea player. And Smith-Rowe challenged for the ball. And a win tonight would actually take us to 8th position, just a point behind Tottenham, although they have got a game in hand on us, and just 2 behind Liverpool in 6th, and they've got 2 games in hand. So the mathematics look quite helpful, but Everton just behind us. We'd be on the same points as Everton, and they'll have 2 games in hand as well. So, it's mathematically it doesn't look too bad, but let's see what happens when everybody's caught up on games. By the time we play next week, that would have been the case, and we'll know exactly where we are with 2 games to play. And we have got a chance of that Europa Conference League. Kevin says, yeah, we need half-time. Yes, we do. We do need half-time, but we've got a counter-attack now down the far side with Kieran Tierney. Maybe we can get a second goal. That would be good, wouldn't it, before half-time? El Neni now. El Neni's had a neat and tidy game, actually. Worked hard in midfield. I guess he always does, doesn't he? He's not a fancy flash player, is he? He just gets the job done. And he's done his job pretty well, actually, tonight so far. And I say the new system, it's worked pretty well, isn't it, overall? Chelsea have had 1 or 2 chances, but you'd expect that. And Bert Leno, when needed, has done well. He's made a couple of good saves. Now El Neni coming forward for Arsenal, finds Ødegaard in the number 10 position. Now Saka on this near side gives it back to Ødegaard, but he couldn't quite get it out of his feet, and he's had to come back to Rob Holding. But we still got possession here. Bukayo Saka on this near side moves infield. Little flick there from El Neni. Something fancy for once. It didn't quite come off, actually, trying to find it, give it back to Saka. He just comes back and does his proper job, which was closing down Pulisic. There's another short back pass there. Puts that Kepa under pressure from Aubameyang, but he managed to tide it up. And it's Thiago Silva now for Chelsea. And they're coming forward themselves down that far side. This is could be a dangerous bit of play from Chelsea. They are quite patient in their build-up. They have been tonight. They're not rushing it. They're just taking their time and looking for some space. Now Pulisic there gets past Rob Holding, but actually no, Rob Holding does well. Looked like it may have been a free kick at first, but it wasn't. I think Rob Holding did get something on the ball. Good touch that from Kurt Zouma, actually. That's the sort of thing where sometimes you might expect it to run away from him and give away a chance, but he has had a decent season, to be fair. I just know there's a mistake in him quite often, so maybe we'll have to wait for that in the second half, and perhaps we can take advantage and get the second goal. But anyway, at the moment it is still 1-0. Jorginho now has a lot of the ball actually in that in our half of the pitch, but not really been able to do a lot with it. Chelsea coming forward again. But we're holding them back. We've got good shape. Everyone's behind the ball. Chelsea again, but we're keeping them at arm's length on the edge of the penalty area. Actually, they're not able to get through. Reece James on that far side actually leaves the ball. Jorginho now. What's it? A minute and a half till the break. We need to keep this defensive shape good. It has been so far. We're not allowing them to get in behind us. We're not allowing them a clear opportunity at goal. But Chelsea are keeping possession well. They're trying to pull us out. The ball comes in there actually, but it wasn't a good ball there from Mount. And now we can launch a counter-attack. Kieran Tierney down the far side. Plays the ball into the space behind Thiago Silva. Knew he could beat him for pace, but it was sensible defending that from Thiago. Just shut the door on him. Kieran Tierney was claiming a foul. I think it was just clever defending, actually. Showed all his experience there. He knew that Kieran Tierney would have him for pace down that side. Shane says, I must admit, I'd rather ESR in middle and bring on Martinelli on the left. Yeah, Martinelli on the left is obviously good. He's been playing pretty well there, hasn't he? And Terry says, the last time we beat Chelsea 1-0 was in a Community Shield 2015, Oxlade Chamberlain getting the goal. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was not the Premier League, was it? But that was actually, we did beat them 1-0. That was a first half goal as well, wasn't it? I seem to remember. From the Ox, of course. His career at Liverpool hasn't quite taken off for him, has it, due to injuries and one thing and another. But anyway, Chelsea have had 8 attempts at goal, 3 on target. We've had 2 and only 1 on target, but it's the one that counts, of course. The goal from Smith Rowe. It's been a good away performance, actually, a good first half, away from home. We've soaked up the pressure. We've allowed Chelsea possession, but they haven't had many clear-cut opportunities at goal, have they? And when they have, Bert Leno's done his job well. And it's going to be 1 minute of stoppage time, which we're just into now. And there's just been a foul there by Rob Holding, gone through the back of Pulisic. Chelsea have taken it quickly. We've just got another 30 seconds of this first half to hang on to go in at the break, 1-0 up, which will be great. Smith Rowe there plays the ball into Aubameyang out on that left-hand side. He's done well. Aubameyang has held the ball up. He's got Kieran Tierney outside him, trying to drill the cross in. Smith Rowe was making a run, but it's hit a Chelsea defender. I think it was Reece James, and it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. Kieran Tierney's in no rush to take this, and you can understand why. As the clock's ticking down towards half-time, a decent first half. This from Arsenal, a lot better than we may have expected. And in fact, there goes a half-time whistle. It's not even time to take the throw. And Arsenal do lead 1-0 with that goal from Emil Smith Rowe, his second Premier League goal in consecutive games, having previously not scored one in his career. So, yes, we were helped out there by Jorginho's terrible back pass, which put Kepa in trouble. He actually did well initially, although, as we've discussed, would that have been a handball? Would it have been a red card if we didn't score? Anyway, Aubameyang was there. Clever movement from ESR, pulled off the defence, and Aubameyang rolled the ball back to him. And although he didn't really get hold of the shot particularly well, he scuffed it, in all honesty. It did manage to bobble in off the far post. And it's given us a 1-0 lead, which I think we've deserved for the way that we've approached the game. Good defensive shape. And I say, when Chelsea have managed to get through, they have got quality in that final third. Bert Leno has done well. He's made a couple of good saves at important times. So it's been a good away performance from Arsenal. Another one, actually. It's a series of good away performances. And, for all the criticism that Arteta's got, he's had, and I've been as critical as anybody of him. If we could have transferred our away form to home form this season, we'd actually have done pretty well, wouldn't we? We wouldn't have been far off that top 4, would we? It has been our home form that's let us down. And I suppose, luckily, out of these last 3 games, 2 of them are away, aren't they? So we have got an opportunity to maybe get a few more points on the board than we may have done if we'd had an extra home game to play. So, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's only half time, and I'm sure Chelsea are going to play better in that second half. They were a little bit sloppy at times, but towards the end there, that last 10 or 15 minutes, we were not exactly hanging on, but it was all Chelsea, wasn't it? They had all the possession, and they were looking a lot more dangerous in that last 10 minutes. So, but we've done a defensively. I say we've been sound. The new 3 at the back system seems to have worked fairly well. And yeah, it's so far so good. So it's not often we've gone away from home to a side like Chelsea and led at half time. Of course, they did have a few chances, Chelsea, didn't they? They missed an early chance there with Havertz after a mistake from Pablo Mari, and Havertz ran through and fired over the top. That was a poor miss there, and Leno has made a couple of good saves. But as I say, it's been a decent away performance from Arsenal in that first half, and I say we've got the lead. But they're showing a goal again. Really poor that was from Kovacic. Good save from Kepa, and then Smith Rowe tucks it away. And it's 1-0 to the Arsenal. We do like the sound of that, don't we? Right, what I'm going to do at half time, because I've just got back from football, I've got a bit of hay fever coming on, so I need to go and take me nasal spray to sort that out. So I will just nip off for 5 minutes and be back very shortly. So stay tuned for the second half. And I say it's half time, and it is Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. Stay tuned. I'll be back very, very soon. See you soon. Hi, how you doing? I'm back. Just had my nasal spray sorted out for me hay fever, which tends to get bad at this time of the year, especially when I've been out playing football. So, yeah, 1-0 at half time, pretty good. If you haven't done so already, please give this a like, actually, wherever you're watching it. And also, as well, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I know most of you guys in the chat have already, which is much appreciated. But if you are watching, if it's your first time, or you maybe watched one or two before, you haven't got around to subscribing yet, the button's down in that corner somewhere over there. Just give it a subscribe and click on that, and yeah, and then keep you updated with all the other stuff that I've got coming up on the channel. Obviously, there's no game this weekend, but I am looking at doing a special show. Obviously, it's FA Cup final weekend, and you know, we've won the FA Cup the record amount of times, haven't we? So I feel it's a good opportunity to maybe look back on some memories of some great FA Cup finals that Arsenal have been in over the year. Well, some good and bad, actually. So if you're out there watching this, and maybe you've got some great memories from a previous FA Cup final that you went to and watched Arsenal in, good or bad, if we won or lost, and you want to come on the show, let me know. I'm hoping to do it on Saturday afternoon at 3:00, which obviously is a traditional FA Cup final kickoff time. So that's what the plan is. So I say if you're around on Saturday, I mean, I might be flexible with the timings. You know, I want to try and I might do it over a series of shows, actually, maybe do 3 or 4 shows on it if there's enough people want to get involved. So yeah, if you've watched, if you've seen Arsenal playing FA Cup finals at Wembley or the Millennium Stadium, whenever it was, and you say you've got some great memories, maybe you got a ticket, or maybe a ticket that you missed out on, or maybe you got a ticket from elsewhere, different sources and stuff like that. And it'd be great to hear some stories. You know, if you listen to the shows we did on the 71 double, there were some great memories from the guys had for that. It'd be a similar type of show to that, looking back on these great cup finals that you can remember. I mean, I've seen Arsenal playing, must be 6 or 7 FA Cup finals actually over the years. So yeah, I've got some memories as well that I can share, and everybody as well. You know, so if that's you, if you want to come on, let me know, and then I can get that arranged, and we can get you on the show and talk about your FA Cup final memories. And I say we won it the most time, so we've all got some great memories. You know, both in recent years, of course, we have won it a lot in recent time, but also going back a bit further. The first one that I was at that we won was in 1993. I was at the first game and the replay as well. And of course, we had a great lot of success in the 70s as well, didn't we? And even beyond that, there may be someone out there who maybe was at the 1950 FA Cup final that we won, or the 52 that we lost, you know, maybe. And if that's you and you want to share those memories, that would be really good to get some memories from some cup finals a little bit further back. Not sure there'll be too many people that are at the 1936 final that are still around, but if there is, that would be even better, wouldn't it? But I think we might be pushing our luck a little bit there. But anyway, yeah, if you've got some memories of FA Cup finals with Arsenal and you want to share them on the channel, please get in touch and we'll get you on the show. And that'll be really good. So I'm hoping to do that for Saturday. Certainly the first one. I say I might do it in 2 or 3 parts, possibly over next week or so, if there's enough people want to get involved, that we can do. So, but yeah, that's just something that's going to come up on the channel. So yeah, please be aware of that. I say that I've just noticed there's more people watching than have given it a like. So if you're watching and you haven't given it a like yet, please give it a like. Just click the thumbs up on the video. That does help it to grow as well. And I say if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm guessing you 4 watching at the moment have subscribed already. But if you haven't, please do so. I say please give it a like as well, because that all helps as well. Now, Chelsea have made a substitution at half time, actually. Callum Hudson-Odoi is coming on. We'll have to see who's going off for them. I don't know if it might be a tactical change. Obviously, they didn't really cause us too many problems in that first half, so that might be why. But it's going to be Callum Hudson-Odoi who's coming on at half time for Chelsea. He's been playing quite well, actually. He's been in a new kind of wing-back position for them, hasn't he? A sort of right wing-back. And he is coming on for Chelsea for this start of the second half. So Tuchel has made an early change. It's not Jorginho that's gone off anyway, in case we were wondering if it was. Just trying to see who it is actually. I missed the ball go up, so I'm not sure yet. I'm sure it'll become clear in a minute who it is that's gone off. But yeah, so Thomas Tuchel has I say half time is not happy. He makes a substitution, so good for him. That's what I say. Let's see if it works for Chelsea or not. I say Hudson-Odoi is a decent player. He's made an impact from the bench actually this season for Chelsea. Let's hope he doesn't have too much of an influence. Then Arsenal coming out now. I don't think Arsenal have made any subs at half time. It doesn't look like it. And Smith Rowe is, of course, with the goal. So second Premier League goal in consecutive games, which is good for him and good for the future of the club as well. He does need to score, of course. You know, I think that's obvious. But he's got goals in him, hasn't he? We know that. He's scored a few in Europe and he scored a few in the cup competitions as well. And I'm sure now he's up and running in the Premier League. He'll go on and get a lot more. But anyway, we're about to start the second half. It's going to be Chelsea at the kickoff. Arsenal attacking the goal to our left, which is, of course, the end with where the away fans are usually in that corner, in that bottom left-hand corner. We're attacking that goal in the second half. It's always good to score, isn't it, away from home in front of your fans. Not that the fans are there tonight, of course, as we know, but it's the best end to be attacking, isn't it, in the second half? I like going to away games when it's like that, and you get an important goal in front of the fans. Is great, isn't it? So let's hope we can get a nice goal in the second half and seal this victory, which would be really nice. Kevin says there, no pressure. Sky just said we haven't lost when leading at half time. Oh right, how long's that been for, Kevin? Is that just this season or is it under Arteta? I'm trying to think. Actually, last time we lost in a game that we led at half time, probably has been a long time. We don't often lead at half time, do we? That's why. But anyway, we don't usually score, do we? When we lose, we normally lose 1-0. So we don't tend to score and lose in the same game, do we, this season? Certainly not. Actually, that's not true. Wasn't we 1-0 up at Wolves at half time? Oh, no, it wasn't. It was just before half time that Wolves got the penalty, wasn't it? And David Luiz got sent off. So, no, that's probably right then, actually. We did lead 1-0 in that game and still lost, though. That's probably the last time that happened. But it wasn't quite a half time, was it? But yeah, I wonder when the last time was. Actually, when we played Chelsea at the Emirates last season in Arteta's first game, we were 1-0 up at half time, wasn't we? We lost 2-1. That might well be the last time that we've done that, maybe, in the Premier League, perhaps. Does anybody knows any different? I certainly can't think of one. And if Sky said it's not been this season, we'll be looking back at last season and nothing springs out to me. A few games that we led 1-0 and lost, Tottenham away, for example. But Chelsea now coming forward to start the second half, looking to get the equaliser. They're claiming a penalty there for a foul on Havertz, but it's not given. Hudson-Odoi now coming forward down his near side. It's James now. And Hudson-Odoi trying to link up with Kieran Tierney. He's done well. And Arsenal can maybe launch a counter-attack, perhaps, can they? No, they can't. It's got out for a throw. Has that gone to VAR? Because the referee seems to be holding the game up. Are Chelsea going to be given a penalty here? Gabriel did come across Havertz. He'd lost control of the ball, actually, before Pablo Mari cleared it. It was a bit clumsy from Gabriel, if we're totally honest. He did... I mean, it does look like a foul. But anyway, I don't think it's going to be given. Kieran Tierney's currently on his haunches. It looked like he got a bit of a knock there, but he's back on his feet again and seems like he's going to be okay. It's just going to be a throw to Chelsea. So VAR didn't give that as a penalty. Certainly seen penalties given for less than that. In fact, we've conceded penalties for less than that this season, but luckily that one wasn't given. And maybe now we can get a counter-attack with Smith Rowe, but he's given the ball away, actually. That was poor from Emil Smith Rowe. But he tried to retrieve the situation, but the ball's gone all the way back to Kepa, the Chelsea goalkeeper tonight. We haven't really put him under too much pressure, have we? The only bit of real pressure he's had was that back pass from Jorginho, which led to our goal, actually. We haven't really caused him too many problems, have we, in this game? But we do lead 1-0. That's the important thing. And it's been a pretty decent defensive display from Arsenal, I would say. We've certainly kept Chelsea at arm's length for most of it. With some good defensive play. I think El Nenny's done a good job just in front of the defence there actually tonight. So well done to him. Thiago Silva plays it out to that far side to Kurt Zouma. Chelsea again. The game's carrying on a similar pattern to how the first half ended. You know, Chelsea a lot of possession, but it's more in front of us than behind us, and we're looking reasonably assured. But Azpilicueta there finds Reece James on his near side. It's played back into the centre to Jorginho. Comes back out to Hudson-Odoi. Dangerous ball in towards the 6-yard box. Pablo Mari was there this time and cleared it. Good ball actually from Hudson-Odoi. I'm sure that's what his instructions have been, to whip those crosses in. He's got a good delivery on him, hasn't he? But Chelsea comes forward again. Mason Mount now on the far side. But we can't get the ball at the moment actually. Pulisic now for Chelsea, looking for that opening. Ball dinked into the box. Gabriel was underneath it. And the ball's going to run all the way through to Bernd Leno in the end. 5 minutes played in the second half. It's been all Chelsea, as it was at the end of the first half as well. But the one statistic that matters is the scoreline on the screen there at the moment. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. That's early goal from Smith Rowe following a mistake at the back from Chelsea. Now we've got a counter-attack on here. Kieran Tierney plays it square to Ødegaard. He's got Saka outside him over on that far side. Saka now coming into the penalty area. But he tries to do too much actually, and he loses the ball, and Chelsea can come forward themselves now with Chilwell over on that far side. As the ball stayed in, it has. But Thomas Partey's come across. Thomas Partey's looked a little bit better tonight. He hasn't given the ball away quite as often as in recent games. His passing has been a lot better, and he's done a good job defensively as well. Broke up a lot of Chelsea play and won the ball back a few times. He's looked decent actually, to be fair. He's had a better game as well. I think him and El Neni have both done pretty well in midfield. We're enjoying our best spell of possession of this second half, but it's in our own half of the field, so we're not really making much progress forward. Gabriel plays the ball into Tierney. Good defending that from Azpilicueta actually, and Reece James with another strange back pass there, which almost caused Kepa some problems, but he was able to control that with his chest. Wasn't under any pressure. And now Kepa's got the ball at his feet and finds Kurt Zouma, and Chelsea will try to play out from the back. I say, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and give the video a like as well. That would be much appreciated. We've only got 3 likes on it so far. A bit disappointed in that. So if you haven't liked it, please give it a like. We'll try and get 10 if we can in the second half. I think it deserves 10, especially if we win. But Chelsea now coming forward down the far side. It's Pulisic inside the area. Twist past Thomas Partey, but Partey just manages to hold him up. But he has conceded a corner. And it's going to be a corner over on the far side to Chelsea. I'll say the second half's following a similar pattern to how the first half ended, with Chelsea in possession. This is their 4th corner of the game. They've been quite dangerous from the previous ones. Again, it's into the near post. Gabriel gets up, but he hasn't really cleared it away. Kurt Zouma puts it back inside the 6-yard box. We can't really clear it. But we have now Aubameyang. Wasn't actually a great ball to Thomas Partey. We've given it away again. It's Ben Chilwell. Now the ball played out to his near side to Jorginho. Cuts inside. It's a square ball to Chilwell. I say Chelsea are playing it well in front of us, playing it around us. Hudson-Odoi there cuts inside, but he loses the ball to Smith Rowe. Finds Gabriel. Gabriel can look a little bit clumsy in possession at times, can't he? He's like he's all arms and legs, but he's a solid enough defender, isn't he? And he's had a decent enough game tonight. He hasn't quite managed to recapture his form, has he, that he showed earlier in the season when he first broke into the team. He was outstanding, wasn't he, those first 2 or 3 months of the season. Got a couple of important goals as well, but since his injury and his red card, he's struggled to recapture that form again, hasn't he? But he did get an important goal in Olympiacos, of course, in the Europa League. and he's had a decent enough game tonight as well. So the first time he's played alongside Pablo Mari, and this is a back three, if you remember, for Arsenal. But we can't really get the ball away at the minute. Jorginho again trying to find an opening. Reece James on this near side facing Kieran Tierney. Can he get past him and get a crossing? No, he has to go backwards. Hudson-Odoi, can he get a crossing? He doesn't normally need much invitation to cross the ball, does he? Good defensive work from Aubameyang, actually almost wins the ball back, but Chelsea keep possession again with Kurt Zouma. Plays it into the box there. It's a good turn from Pulisic. Can he get a shot away? No, he finds Reece James instead. And then into Hudson-Odoi from the edge of the area. He just tries to whip a shot in. And it was too high. But again, we haven't managed to get out of our half really in this second half at all. We've been pinned back. It was good play that from Havertz actually in the build-up to that. And then Hudson-Odoi lofted his shot over the bar from the edge of the box. Terry says 1-0 half-time was Newcastle and we won. Yeah, no, we were 1-0 up at half-time, yeah. When was the last time we were 1-0 up at half-time and lost? That was the big question that Sky have been posing. So, but it certainly isn't this season, apparently. So I can't remember one last season either, but anyway, I'm sure someone will know. Anyway, Chelsea now coming forward again. It's Havertz in the area, tries to thread the ball through, but again we defend well. We've got bodies back, and it was an Arsenal foot there that managed to get the ball off Havertz, and we've managed to clear it away up to this near side. Havertz tried to cut inside Pablo Mari. He was kind of blocked off actually, but he wasn't going anywhere, and Arsenal managed to clear the danger. Good play, good defending again from Arsenal. But again, we can't get the ball out of our own half. It's all the ball's been played in front of our defence in this second half so far. But can Chelsea find this equaliser? Reece James whips it into the near post, and again, Bernd Leno does well. Reads the cross on the edge of the 6-yard box. He has had a decent game, actually, to be fair to Bernd Leno tonight. I wasn't really sure if he should have played in the circle. There was a cross from Reece James, and it was just curling out and into the arms of Bernd Leno. Arsenal trying to play it out from the back. Probably not the best policy when we've been pinned in so much in this second half. We want to try and get the ball into the Chelsea half of the pitch, maybe, would perhaps be a better option. But anyway, we have got a throw on this near side, which Kieran Tierney is going to take. Timo Werner's warming up for Chelsea, and Giroud, of course, as well. Was it mentioned in the chat earlier? Giroud's bound to score if he comes on, yeah. He obviously scored against us, hasn't he, a couple of times since he moved. So he did score over 100 goals for Arsenal as well. I believe he was a really underrated striker for Arsenal. But anyway, he hasn't come on yet. And Thomas Partey's there just as Saka, has give away a free kick on the halfway line there for Chelsea. Kieran Tierney's gone down again. This isn't looking good, is it? Don't know what happened to him there. Oh, he looked like he got a slightly late challenge from Hudson-Odoi. I don't think it was intentional, actually, but he went down, actually, about 5 minutes ago. And he struggled back to his feet. Now he's actually getting treatment on the pitch. He looks in a lot of pain, his right leg. This isn't looking too good. He's got to be one of the most injury-prone players that we've had for a while. Thought those days had gone with the likes of Jack Wilshere and Abu Diaby, of course, who were always getting injured. And Kieran Tierney there. Looks like he's took a whack on his right thigh. And he's gone down and he is getting treatment. But let's hope he's okay. He's only just come back, hasn't he, from his last injury? So we definitely don't want another injury again. Anyway, Arteta is currently speaking to Gabriel and Smith Rowe as well. Bit of coaching from the sideline there, as he likes to do, doesn't he? Over-coaching, a lot of people call it. And, yeah, I would say that could well be the case. Hector Bellerin's on the screen at the moment. Obviously, talk of him possibly leaving at the end of the season. There could be a few players leaving, couldn't there? I think we're aware of that. Anyway, Kieran Tierney is back on his feet, and he is up and back on the pitch again. So let's hope he's okay, can run that off, and he's going to be fine. I'm sure he wants to be fit for the Euros as well, won't he? Obviously for Scotland. But anyway, we'll see how it plays out this last 30, 31 minutes or so. But he's gone down twice in the second half already, Kieran Tierney, so there's a little bit of a concern now with him. But anyway, let's see. Chelsea are now coming forward again. So it's been a tough second half this for Arsenal. We haven't really managed to cross the halfway line very often. Chelsea coming forward again. This is Azpilicueta on this near side. He finds Reece James on this touchline. Plays that line to Hudson-Odoi, who's had a big influence actually in the second half for Chelsea. Got forward well down the near side, put some good balls in. He was almost in again there, but again, Arsenal have defended it pretty well. The ball has gone back to Kepa, but Arsenal have got everybody back inside our half of the pitch. We seem quite happy to sit on this lead for the time being. It's going to be a corner to Chelsea there. Saka couldn't quite control that ball. It's run off him and gone out for a corner. Of course, if Giroud does come on, he's going to be dangerous from corners, isn't he? He looks like he might be getting ready. I don't think it'll be too long until we see Giroud. But it is a corner to Chelsea on the far side. Chilwell takes it. So Dames points a 6-yard box. Header comes in. It's in the net. Is it going to stand? And it's Jorginho. Typically, no. Yeah, it's Jorginho, I think, with a goal. It's his mistake that led to our goal. And it is... Oh, it's Pulisic, sorry. Let's have a look. Is he onside? He's miles offside. He's offside. That can't count, can it? He's miles offside, surely. Surely that goal can't count. He's got to be about 6 yards offside. Pulisic there when he put it in. And in fact, it is going to be disallowed. Offside, yeah, as expected. He was that's probably the most offside that there's ever been a goal. And apparently the linesman didn't flag. As Kevin says, terrible for a linesman. I'm assuming he didn't flag, no. But I mean, how far offside was he there? He had to be 5 or 6 yards offside, didn't he? But anyway, this is what VAR. This is the good part of VAR, isn't it? When mistakes are made by the referee or by the linesman, and they can make mistakes. You know, we need to understand that. And when they do make mistakes, that's what VAR should be used for, to put it right, which they've just done, and that goal's rightly been disallowed. And that's good use of VAR. But unfortunately, this season that's been quite rare, isn't it? The use of VAR has been terrible generally. But we need to praise it when it works well, when it does its job, and it certainly done its job there, didn't it? So we need to. You know, we need to give it credit for that, because that was a decent piece of play from the guys in VAR. Not that they could have made any other decision, because I don't think I've ever seen a player that far offside not given offside originally. But anyway, looks like Hector Bellerin is going to be coming on. I'm assuming it's going to be for Kieran Tierney, because I still think he's struggling actually since that injury. The ball has now gone out for a throw to Chelsea, which they've taken actually, so the substitution is going to happen now. But Bellerin's ready to come on. And Chelsea have just won a free kick from El Neni, who didn't seem very happy about the decision. But Bellerin's stripped and ready to come on. He's just getting some tape sorted out. I'm assuming it's going to be Kieran Tierney to go off, following his little injury that he had. And you'd imagine that maybe Saka will play in that position and Bellerin will go over to the right. You'd imagine that's what will happen, but we'll see. Anyway, Hudson-Odoi currently coming forward for Chelsea down this near side. He's got the ball back again off Reece James. Azpilicueta now. Again, it's the same pattern that we've had most of this game. Chelsea keeping possession just in front of, in between the halfway line and our penalty area, but without really getting in behind too much and actually getting a clear shot at goal. And it's just rolled out there for a goal kick to Arsenal. A long ball from Zuma looking for Chilwell actually, but it's gone out for a goal kick to Arsenal. Maybe this is going to be the chance to make that substitution, and it is Hector Bellerin coming on. So I'm assuming it's Kieran Tierney that's going to go off. I think Bellerin's going to go over to the right. I think Saka will come over to the left, and that will probably be what we'll do. But we'll see. Nearly 64 minutes played. In fact, we're not going to make the substitution now because Leno's taken the goal kick. So we're going to wait another few minutes. But again, we get the ball into the Chelsea half briefly and they just win it and come forward themselves. Now Hudson-Odoi down this near side. He's not giving us offside. It's an opportunity for Chelsea. Cuts into the area. Hudson-Odoi. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't shoot it. And instead he's played it all the way across to the far side to Chilwell. And now he's given offside, the linesman. It's the same linesman that didn't flag for the goal, actually. Was he offside? Again, he's miles off, isn't he? I mean, I know the linesman's meant to wait until the ball goes dead, and he did. So that was better play from the linesman now. In fact, it's Saka that's coming off. I don't know whether Arteta has spotted that he has been a little bit shaky defensively tonight, Bukayo Saka, if we're totally honest. And he's maybe putting Bellerin on to shore us up over that side defensively for the final 25 minutes. Chelsea are making a sub, and it is Giroud who's coming on. So Chelsea equaliser incoming. It's Havertz who comes off, maybe resting him for the cup final, perhaps. But it's Giroud who's coming on for Chelsea. Of course, former Arsenal striker, of course. I say he's got over 100 goals for the club. Kevin says, can't stand that rule. Just then, yards offside and played on. Somebody could get injured. Now, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, somebody could get injured. I think when it's a tight call, maybe don't put your flag up. But when it's an obvious one like that, I think, yeah, you should definitely put the flag up and stop the play. Another kind of problem that there are with these new rules and the technology and stuff like that, isn't it? Causing a few problems. But yeah, I agree. When it's an obvious one like that, you've got to flag, haven't you? It's only really the tight ones that maybe you should wait for. But anyway, also going forward now. Kieran Tierney down this near side puts the ball into the box, but there's nobody there. Is there? Bellerin, his first touch. Odegaard. Oh, he comes back to Bellerin. Bellerin shoots again. Of course, that was the end where last year he scored that equaliser, wasn't it? I wonder if he could score here again. He did score at the Emirates against Chelsea as well. And of course, if you remember, it was against Chelsea where he suffered that knee injury as well, wasn't it? A couple of years ago. And he's never quite been the same again, has he? But this was a good play from Arsenal, actually. Kieran Tierney down that left-hand side. It looked as though the cross had been overhit, actually. But in fact, he picked out Bellerin. Odegaard then backheeled it into the path of Bellerin again. But the shot was straight at Kepa. Not quite as good as his left foot goal, from last year, was it? When he cut inside and popped it into the bottom corner very late on in that game to give us a draw with 10 men. Fantastic that was. But of course, that great goal from Martinelli as well, which is still replayed many times on YouTube, of course, rightly so as well. Brilliant goal that was from young Martinelli. But Chelsea now coming forward themselves. An effort there from, 40 yards from Kurt Zouma. That's what you call optimistic. It's gone over the bar. And I think maybe Chelsea started to get a little bit frustrated with our defensive shape. We've got everybody behind the ball. We are defending well. And I think Chelsea is starting to become a little bit frustrated because they've had a lot of possession of the ball and they've not really been able to create too much with it. So we've now got a goal kick, and this one is going to go long. It's got to be the best option. When we're struggling to get out of our half anyway, when you've got an opportunity to get out of your half with a goal kick or a set piece, you've got to go long, get the ball into the Chelsea half of the pitch, and then you never know if we can win the ball, win a flick on, we might get an opportunity. Kieran Tierney there trying to make that happen himself. Aubameyang tries to flick it through to Tierney again, but it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. Wonder how long Aubameyang's going to last in this game. He's not managed to play a full 90 minutes, has he, since he came back. With quick throw there. Odegaard now on the edge of the penalty area. He couldn't quite get past Zouma. And Chelsea managed to do that. But just for a second, it looked as though Odegaard might have been in. The quick throw looked like it caught Chelsea out for a minute. Partey's caught in possession there, actually. And suddenly now, Chelsea coming forward. Giroud's in the box, waiting for the cross. Didn't come in at all. And Arsenal come back. In fact, it was Odegaard there doing good defensive work. But Elneny takes too long and it falls to Giroud. He completely missed his shot from the edge of the penalty area there. It is his first touch since he come on. And you could look, it looked like a first touch as well. He's smiling to himself there. It was Elneny actually who gave the ball away. And it fell to Giroud on his left foot as well. You'd expect him to hit the target at least there. It was Mason Mount who pinched the ball off El Neni. Giroud had a lot of space actually on the edge of the penalty area, but I say it was his first touch, and it looked like a first touch as well. Completely mishit the shot, and it's gone behind for another Arsenal goal kick. But a little bit sloppy there from Arsenal. 2 or 3 occasions there where we didn't deal with the ball at all well, and anyway, Timo Werner's looking a little bit frustrated. I'm sure he would have felt he might have stuck that one away. But anyway, luckily we've survived. But again, we still can't really get out of our own half. There's just over 20 minutes of normal time to play. And is this a free kick to Chelsea? I think it's Jorginho's gone down. There was a challenge from Gabriel. Actually, no, it's covered. It's Pulisic that's gone down, actually. I keep getting him mixed up, actually. They've got similar hair. Maybe that's what it is. When you see the back of them, they do look quite similar. But it's Pulisic that's gone down under that challenge from Gabriel. He's just getting to his feet now. I'm not sure if the referee even gave it as a free kick, actually. It might be a throw over on the near side. But anyway, he's not moving very freely, is he? But Chelsea will still be in 4th place, although West Ham will be 6 points behind with a game in hand. So even if they lose this game, it's not a disaster for Chelsea, is it, in terms of the top 4? But anyway, that's their problem, isn't it? We've got our own issues to worry about, I suppose. And who knows, maybe we could sneak into that 7th place. We'll only be a point off it, although I say Tottenham do have a game in hand, of course. But anyway, we're coming forward again now. Down that far side, Thomas Partey plays it back to El Neni inside the centre circle. Emil Smith-Rowe now. Can we get a second goal? That'll surely seal this victory. Kieran Tierney, first time cross the walls. Yeah, the penalty. It comes into... Oh, it went all the way to the far side to Ødegaard. Bit similar to the Hudson-Odoi shot from before. Got over the top of the ball and it's gone high over the crossbar. Hit it first time as he come in late there. Was on his left foot as well, but he was leaning back as he was running in, and it's gone high over the bar for a goal kick to Chelsea, and they take it short, actually, trying to build from the back. But we're starting to press them a little bit, actually. But now Chelsea are coming over halfway with Ben Chilwell. Plays it square to Aspilicueta. Into Jorginho. It is Jorginho this time. That is Pulisic again. I keep getting them confused, them two. Pulisic now. And it's definitely Pulisic. That's Jorginho. They don't even look that similar, really, do they? But anyway, I'll still keep getting them confused. Chelsea still in possession of the ball. Jorginho now over on that far side. Hudson-Odoi swapped over. A decent, dangerous cross, actually looking for Giroud at the near post. It's a sort of service that Giroud loves, isn't it? Those crosses in at the near post. It was a dangerous ball whipped in. Just a little bit too high there for Giroud. Couldn't get his head on it. Scored 11 goals this season, Giroud, actually, in all competitions for Chelsea. He scored 4, didn't he, in a Champions League game earlier in the season. Chelsea have had even more possession in the second half, 73%. They've had 63 in the first half. It has been one-way traffic. But Chelsea haven't managed to score. Well, they did score, but it was clearly offside and it wasn't given. But they haven't. Leno hasn't had an actual save to make in the second half, has he? He's dealt with a few crosses, but he's not had to actually make an actual save. We've defended pretty well in numbers. And now we've won a free kick for a foul by James on Smith-Rowe. Kevin says there, still think not playing in Europe next year is the best thing for us so we can regroup. In a way, I would agree, but I just think that financially, this year in particular, with the no fans in the stadium, the money that the club's lost, I just feel as though this was the season not to have missed out on Europe. You know, we could have probably coped this season, if you like, from last season, maybe. But I just feel this season it's probably more important that we're in Europe just for the financial aspect of it, really. But certainly in terms of regrouping the squad and not having as many games could be a benefit. We don't need as big a squad. We can trim the wage bill and stuff like that. So it might not be the worst thing, I suppose. It's just, 25 consecutive years of being in Europe and not to make it is quite disappointing, isn't it? And I'm sure that the club's finances have been based on us being in Europe, and a lot of the contracts that the players are on would be as well. And it could lead to a few financial problems for the club that we don't really maybe aware of at the moment. I remember when we dropped out the Champions League in 2017 for the first time. We thought, oh, well, 1 year out of the Champions League might not matter. And here we are 5 years later and we've still not got back in it again. And there's no guarantee that not being in Europe next season means that we're going to be in Europe the season after, does it? I think a lot of improvements are going to have to be made. Anyway, Smith Rowe on a run there, but he ran down a blind alley in the end, actually, and Chelsea managed to clear the ball. I think that there's positives and negatives to it. It will be a positive if it means that next season we can regroup, we can focus more on the other competitions, and we can obviously have a lot better season in the Premier League as well. But the worry for me is that actually Kieran Tierney's just gone down again, taking his boot off actually, and Smith Rowe as well looks like he might be just carrying a knock as well. After that driving run into the box, he was faced with 2 or 3 defenders, but he couldn't find a way through the Chelsea defence there. And it's going to be a free kick though to Arsenal on this near side. It looks like Smith Rowe's going to take it, or possibly Ødegaard. They're both over it. Probably Ødegaard's left foot over on this near side will probably be good to swing it in. It will be Ødegaard with the free kick. It's a dangerous ball, but a Chelsea head gets on it. Falls out to Kieran Tierney. It's deflected, but into the arms of the goalkeeper. And that's that attack over for Arsenal. But at least we managed to have a few minutes spent there in the Chelsea half on the attack, which has been very, very rare in this second half. In fact, it's been very rare for most of this game, if we're totally honest. It'll definitely be a backs-to-the-wall victory, a George Graham kind of 1-0 victory away from home, that we used to get quite a lot. And we haven't maybe had enough of this season, but there's still plenty of time left. 14 minutes plus stoppages as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi bursting into the box. A good run. Rob Holding manages to stop him temporarily. Jorginho keeps possession for Chelsea. It's Van Chilwell on the far side now. Mason Mount. Not been quite as effective in the second half, Mason Mount. He was quite dangerous in the first half. A lot of the good things Chelsea did came through him, but he's not had such an influence in the second half. Jorginho there finds Giroud. It's gone out to the far side again to Chilwell. Jorginho, Giroud makes his run, looking for a cross. It doesn't come in. Goes back out again to Chilwell. Plays it to Hudson-Odoi. He usually will put a cross in. Instead, he goes back to Chilwell. This time, Chilwell crosses, but it's blocked by Hector Bellerin, and then Thomas Partey can clear it away with the help of Martin Ødegaard. Thomas Partey was then fouled, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal, and there's going to be a substitution, I believe. And it's going to be Ziyech coming on for Chelsea. And it's Azpilicueta going off. So maybe a slight change of shape for Chelsea as well in these final 15 minutes or so, with Ziyech coming on. And it's going to be Ødegaard with his free kick deep inside the Arsenal half. And Lacazette's now stripped and ready to come on as well. I wonder if it might be Aubameyang going off. Of course, he hasn't played a full 90 minutes, has he, since he's come back from malaria. I'm not quite sure if he's ready to play 90 minutes yet. But anyway, that's going to be coming up probably quite soon. But at the moment, again, Arsenal got more defending to do. Kurt Zouma now over halfway for Chelsea. I'll say they still haven't had that one clear opportunity, apart from the goal, which was rightly disallowed. But they're coming forward again. Hudson-Odoi into the penalty. A good defending there from Thomas Partey there. She sees the ball out ahead of Mason Mount. And now we might be able to make the substitution. Lacazette is coming on, and it will be Aubameyang as expected to go off. He looks a little bit disappointed. He didn't really get any service again, did he, today? Another frustrating game for him, although he did, of course, set up the winning goal, or the only goal, sorry. It's not the winning goal yet. Let's not get carried away. It may prove to be the winning goal, but we've still got 12 minutes plus stoppage time to negotiate. But he didn't get a lot of opportunities, did he, at the other end of the pitch, Aubameyang, to get a goal. And he looked a little bit frustrated there as he goes off. But is he fit enough to play 90 minutes? I think that's the other thing that we've got to ask as well, isn't it? And I don't think he quite is yet. It'll be another game where he's not scored, another game where he's not really had many opportunities, or hardly any opportunities at all, to be fair. So that's probably why he's looking more frustrated than anything, I guess, that he's not been getting the opportunities. And for a striker, that's what you live and breathe on, isn't it? Your goal scoring chances, and he's not really got many tonight at all. And now Lacazette's on. Maybe hold the ball up a little bit better in that Chelsea half of the pitch, where we've not been able to keep possession at all in this game, or certainly not in the second half. That was a long ball there from Leno. Was looking for Lacazette actually, but Kurt Zuma beat him in the air. He's got a few inches on him, hasn't he, Kurt Zuma? He's a big unit. There's no doubt about that. Strong defender, but I still think he's got a mistake in him, and hopefully he'll make one in the next 10 minutes and we can get the second goal and seal what would be a decent victory for us, actually. Yes, there's no pressure on, and we know that, but it's been a good defensive display from Arsenal. And Chelsea have found it difficult to break us down. But anyway, Pulisic now on his near side. Reece James whips across in, looking for Giroud. It finds Giroud, but he got over the top of it with his head, and it's gone wide. But those are the sort of balls that Giroud is gonna get some joy off, isn't he? Then whips in crosses. He's going to win a lot of stuff in the air against our defence, you would imagine. And he did win that header, but he couldn't direct it on target. So we've got 9 minutes of normal time plus stoppages, of course, to come. There'll probably be 3 or 4 minutes, or maybe more than that. 5 minutes probably. There's been a few stoppages. Aubameyang sitting on the bench there, looking a little bit glum and sorry for himself. I mean, he didn't play badly tonight, but he just never really was given any opportunities, was he? And he did get an assist for the goal. So another goal involvement for Aubameyang. But he's certainly not looking very happy, is he, sitting on the bench there? Can we hold on to this victory, or maybe get a second goal as Chelsea maybe? They'll need to take a few more risks, won't they? They're going to try and get something from this game. Hudson-Odoi again, who's been lively the second half since he came on. He's switched over to the left-hand side now. Comes to Reece James. Just lays a little ball off to Ziyech. That's a great ball, actually. All good defending from Bellerin. He had to get there, and he did, with Hudson-Odoi coming in behind him. Again, we've got a few more people watching than have liked. So if you haven't liked the video, please give it a like as well, if you're enjoying it, of course. And if you're not enjoying it, then let me know why not, and I'll try and improve the coverage for you for the final 10 minutes. But yeah, so please like if you haven't done so already, and subscribe to the channel as well. It was good defending that from Bellerin, actually. That's a stretch. Hudson-Odoi was coming in at the far post, and Giroud was free in the centre as well. And a touch there from Hudson-Odoi across the 6-yard box would probably have given Giroud a tap-in. So that was really important defending there from Bellerin. It looks like he's maybe overstretched slightly as well, as he's now down getting treatment. And Callum Chambers is warming up. In fact, I think Callum Chambers is going to have to come on for Bellerin. Bellerin's not been on that long. He's not had a chance to. He had that one shot at the other end, and then he just put a really good block in there. But I think he's overstretched something. His calf, is it? Aubameyang's now got his coat on, but he's still looking deep in thought. He doesn't look very happy. Wonder if he's regretting signing that contract last year. And I know he's had a few issues, and I know he's had illnesses and all this, that, and the other, and I understand that. And he just doesn't look happy. He hasn't looked happy this season, has he? We haven't seen that smiley face very often, and he's certainly not looking very happy now, sitting on the sidelines, having been taken off. And Bellerin now, he's going to have to go off anyway because he's received treatment. And we're not making the substitution yet anyway. I don't know if they're going to wait and see if Bellerin can continue. But it is a corner to Chelsea over on the far side. Chilwell takes it to the near post. It wasn't a great corner, actually. Lacazette heads it away, but not very far. It wasn't Chilwell that took it. Actually, Chilwell just with that ball into the box there, but again, it's overhit. And Chelsea's ball in the final third hasn't been particularly great, has it? Bellerin is back on for the time being, so he may be able to continue. And Callum Chambers has put his bib back on and just going for a little jog up and down the touchline. So that if that is going to be a substitution, it won't be happening quite yet, because Bellerin seems like he's going to be able to run that off. He looked like he just overstretched, actually. A very important interception it was. Otherwise, I think Chelsea may well have got the equaliser. But they've really threatened in the second half, if we're totally honest. They've had all the possession, yes, they have, and we've really got out of our own half, but they've not had too many shots at goal. In fact, I don't even think they've had any shots at goal today in the second half, apart from the one that was disallowed quite rightly as well. Terry in the chat there, he says, if they ain't enjoying this, Richard, there's either Chelsea or Spurs fans. Come on, hit the likes, Richard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, obviously there's too many Chelsea fans watching. That's probably why they're not liking it. But yeah, please like it if you are enjoying it. We are winning away at Chelsea, by the way, which we haven't done for nearly 10 years. Yeah, it says there they haven't had one shot on target in the second half, Chelsea. There you go. You see, I didn't think they had. They have had 5 attempts in total. We've actually had one shot on target in the second half, which must have been that Bellerin one, which was straight at the goalkeeper. But that's been the only shot on target in the second half, strangely. But anyway, Kevin says there, squeaky bum time. Indeed, it is squeaky bum time. But although I say we've been under the cosh in terms of possession, it's not like Chelsea have been carving us open and having chance after chance, because they haven't. And yeah. But anyway, we are still 1-0 up. Ball comes in there from Hudson-Odoi. He's been a threat, hasn't he, Hudson-Odoi, actually, in the second half. It comes all the way over to the far post to, I think it's Giroud, is it? He was always stretching there. Never likely to be able to get a shot on target there. In fact, I think it was Pulisic, actually, in the end. And it just goes into the arms of Leno. Does that count as a shot on target? Possibly. But anyway, Bellerin's gone down again, and maybe Bellerin isn't going to be able to last after all. And I think it might be Callum Chambers coming on for these last 4 or 5 minutes, plus stoppage time. But they're actually showing the goal again now. Seems like a long time ago, that goal, doesn't it? But it is the only goal of the game. It remains the only goal of the game, and let's hope that it's the winning goal, because I say that would be a fantastic result for us. But I say maybe playing Chelsea just a few days before the cup final has probably gone in our favour. But Bellerin has had to go off now, and it is Callum Chambers coming on for the closing stages here. He'll be playing in that right wing back position, the third right wing back we've had tonight after Saka and then Bellerin, and now Chamberlain also coming forward himself now. Kieran Tierney finds Ødegaard on the edge of the penalty area. El Neni. This is where we need to keep the ball for these last few minutes, isn't it? El Neni then does well. He nearly loses out to Giroud, but he managed to keep possession. Finds Pablo Mari, who's actually played pretty well and all actually in the back three. The ball played through there towards Kieran Tierney, but Chelsea deal with it. But at least we've got possession in the Chelsea half of the pitch, which has been quite rare in this second half, if we're totally honest. But anyway, as we've seen, it only takes a second to score a goal. Maybe Chelsea might make another mistake and give us another opportunity to double our lead. Kevin says there, Tierney, Partey will be great next season. I think if they can both stay fit, then I would totally agree. I think they're going to be important players for us next season. And hopefully a couple of new players coming in as well. I don't think the squad is that far off being able to compete again. I really don't. I feel as though we're not far off, but it's keeping our important players fit as well, isn't it? And I say Partey and Tierney, as you said, are going to be big players for us next season. So it's desperate that we keep them fit. Anyway, Chelsea have now got a corner on this near side, which Mason Mount's come across to take. Chelsea now trying to speed things up. We are into the final minute of the 90, actually. It is still 1-0 to Arsenal. That was a poor corner from Mount. Lacazette again at the near post. That's twice now. Lacazette's done his job at the near post and cleared the ball. But Chelsea do pick it up again. Thiago Silva with the ball midway inside the Arsenal half. He's going to launch it into the penalty area again. Mason Mount now comes back to Reece James. It's getting a bit desperate for Arsenal. We're dropping very deep. Tierney then comes in well, blocks that ball. It was heading for Reece James, but Tierney read it, got there first and has cleared it. And in fact, Mason Mount is now injured. In fact, it was Mason Mount that was trying to get on the end of that ball. Chelsea swing across in again. A header comes in. It's hit the top of the crossbar. Has it turned in? It's hit the crossbar again. I think it was Kurt Zouma the first time, then Giroud. Chelsea have come close to the equaliser there in the final minute of this game. It was a header from Zouma, came back off the crossbar, and I think Giroud's follow-up effort hit the crossbar as well, but Chelsea is still in possession. Pulisic now, can he get across in on this near side? He plays it in towards the far post. Again, it was Zouma up, but it was Rob Holding's got there. We still haven't managed to get it clear. Drilled back in. It's going to be 6 minutes of stoppage time, by the way. 6 minutes for Arsenal to hang on. Another cross into the box. It's flicked on. This time Gabriel gets his head on it. Desperate defending this from Arsenal in these closing stages. Can we hold on? Reece James whips another dangerous ball in. A header comes in from Thomas Partey, and Arsenal do now clear it away towards halfway. Thiago Silva, but he's got nobody near him. But this is a frantic finish to this game. Chelsea still coming forward. We still can't really get the ball clear. Hudson-Odoi on that far side plays it back to Chilwell. And the referee's blown for offside, I think it is. But it was a header from Zouma there. What a great header that was, actually. Is Burnt then get a touch to it, or did it just come back off the crossbar? Just as it happens, the feed freezes. Typical. But anyway, it was a good header from Zouma, actually. Hit the crossbar, and then Giroud's follow-up hit the woodwork as well. But we managed to survive that. And now we've got the ball up the other end of the pitch with Callum Chambers. He's won a throw deep inside the Chelsea half. We need to keep the ball there for another 4.5 minutes and see this out. And it will be a typical 1-0 to the Arsenal this. And Shane says there, I think I've seen enough of Ødegaard to not want to spend 35-40 million on him, a passenger in a few games now. He's certainly not been the same as he since his injury, actually. And I don't know whether they've rushed him back or what, but he's not been anywhere. I agree, he has been a passenger the last few games. Really, since his injury, he's not been anywhere near the same, has he? So, yeah, if it's going to be 40 million at this moment in time, it's not looking like a 40 million pound player, is he? But he did start well, didn't he? He looked a really good player for 5, 6, 7 games. And I say since that injury, he's not quite found his form again, has he? He hasn't had a great game tonight. But this game's been more about the defensive performance, hasn't it? You know, we haven't really got the ball forward very much. And it's just been all hands to the pump, hasn't it, at the back? Kurt Zouma with a shot again, and again it was optimistic from distance, but I think this one's got deflected. It's going to be another corner to Chelsea. We've played half of the 6 minutes of stoppage time, so we've got 3 minutes left to hang on. Reece James is going to take this corner. Chelsea still haven't really managed to carve us open. They had that header from Kurt Zouma, which hit the crossbar course. But anyway, it's a corner from Reece James, very deep this time. I think it was Giroud actually headed it back in, but Arsenal managed to clear it up to halfway. So Hudson-Odoi has got to retrieve the ball. Time's against Chelsea now. Are we going to hold on? You know, we won away at Man United this season, the first time in a number of years. And we've now got an opportunity to win at Chelsea as well for the first time in a number of years. And it's Thomas Partey burst into a penalty area there, and in fact he's got a yellow card for diving, I think, trying to win a penalty. So that's an unfortunate booking there for him. I think maybe he got there and he was just so tired that he just wanted to fall down. Anyway, he's picked up a yellow card for that. And Chelsea are now coming forward into the last 90 seconds of stoppage time. Reece James, are we going to hold on for a famous victory at Chelsea? Pulisic now down this near side. Can he get a cross in? He gets the ball into the near post. Giroud there with a good touch. It comes back out again. It's whipped in towards the far post, but Leno's there, grabs the ball and holds on to it. Closer, we're suddenly closer now to this victory. It will be a big victory as well for Arsenal. Our first victory at Chelsea for nearly 10 years. And so it's been a decent defensive display from Arsenal. Really, really dogged, disciplined, and everybody's given everything for this clean sheet. Are we going to see this game out? Reece James now down this near side, showed good pace there actually so late in this game. But we still haven't got it away. Shot comes in. Oh, it's headed out by Gabriel. I think it was on target. I think Leno was behind it, but we're still bobbing around in a penalty, and now we've got it clear. Rob Holding up to halfway. Kepa's come right out now over the halfway line. Keep possession for Chelsea. We're into the last 35 seconds of this game. Can we hold on? Another ball clipped into the box towards Giroud. He plays it down on his chest. We still haven't got it clear. Pulisic now on the edge of the penalty area. We're going to hold on. Dramatic finish here at Stamford Bridge in this game. It's so dramatic that the feed decided to go off in the last 30 seconds, which is really nice of it. Please come back on. Oh, why are you doing this to me now? It's going stupid. I can't get the feed. The game's probably finished because we only had 30 seconds left. Let's hope we've held on. It's not playing ball at the moment at all. Oh, it's come back on. It's come back on. It is still 1-0. We've played the 6 minutes. And the feed is still not working particularly well. Surely that must be it. There can't be any time left of this game. We'd already pretty much played the 6 minutes of stoppage time, but it's a goal kick to Arsenal. We've played 7 minutes now. I don't know where he's getting this extra time from, but anyway. Leno's got a goal kick. Surely this will be it when he kicks this. And it is. The whistle's gone. We've won. Finally, we've won at Chelsea. Nearly 10 years it's been since our last victory here. Totally different game to that 5-3 victory. This one's finished 1-0. That early goal from Smith Rowe. Mistake actually from Kovacic. That bad back pass. Kepa did well to keep it out, and Aubameyang pulled the ball back to Smith Rowe's rather scuffed effort went in off the bar. Chelsea did score in the second half with Pulisic, but he was miles offside, rightly ruled out by VAR. Chelsea did hit the bar with Kurt Zouma header late on, and Giroud had an opportunity which he snatched at. But we have held on, and Kevin says, yes, come on. I say, first win at Chelsea for ages. It's really good. Kevin says, keep a few people quiet. Well, yeah, it probably will. Megan's in the chat here. Megan, hope you well. She says, wouldn't have won if we didn't make a mistake. No, that's a fair point. You did gift us the goal, so thanks for that. But yeah, you had a lot of possession after that, but unable to really test their goalkeeper enough. And Terry says, yes, we've done it. Yes, we have. We have done it finally. And I say that's, we've won away at Man U this season for the first time in ages. We've now won at Chelsea for the first time in ages. So, yeah, I mean, it's certainly away from home now. That's six Premier League games without defeat, 4 wins and 2 draws. If only we could do that at home, we'd be in there in a chance of the top 4 even, wouldn't we, maybe? It has been our home form that's let us down. But, yeah, it was a it was a decent enough performance tonight. I wouldn't say it was brilliant. Certainly in an attacking sense, we never caused them any problems at all. And as Megan rightly says, if they hadn't made that mistake, we wouldn't have scored. But that's football, isn't it? Sometimes, these things happen and you might get an opportunity unexpectedly and you take it, and that can be the difference. And tonight we held on at times. It was a strong defensive performance, I thought. The new system, the three at the back, seemed to work. Certainly defensively, again, we didn't create anything going forward, which is a little bit disappointing. But this is a team with a great defensive record. This is a team that's in the Champions League final, in the FA Cup final. They're fourth in the Premier League, and we've just beaten them 1-0 away. That's only the second league match Thomas Tuchel's lost since he took over. So, yes, the circumstances are a little bit strange. I say it's a good time to play Chelsea just before the FA Cup final. Of course it is. And it's... there's no pressure on us, and I suppose we could relax a little bit, with the result not really affecting our season anymore too much. But we certainly did, the guys gave everything out there, didn't they? Certainly from a defensive point of view, we threw our bodies on the line, we defended well, and we've held on in a clean sheet. Say a clean sheet away at Chelsea, and 3 points. It's like a George Graham type of way win, that, isn't it? From the good old glory days of George Graham, when these sort of 1-0 victories we used to take for granted a little bit, didn't we? They're quite rare now, aren't they? An early goal and hanging on for 75-80 minutes, hanging on for 1-0. You have to say that it's not often that we've done that recently, is it? Terry says, I don't know what you lot worried about. Well, yeah, neither do I, but obviously we were a bit worried because it was looking a little bit shaky towards the end. Shane says, Partey had a great game, but Leno man of the match. No, Leno had a good game, yes. He made some good saves in the first half, didn't he? And everything he did well. I agree, Partey was good. One of his better games, that's definitely true as well. Terry says, does that mean London is red again? Well, yes, it's red again for the time being. Unfortunately, if Chelsea do win the Champions League, it won't be, will it? But let's hope that they don't. But unfortunately, if they don't, it means Man City do. So either way, we can't really win, can we? But anyway, Thomas again in the chat. That's Terry's dad, isn't it? I think that's right. I'll make sure that's right. Yeah, I must say, you and your followers are very knowledgeable. I really enjoy the live chat and also great commentary. Good night. Oh, no, good night, Thomas. Yeah, thanks for watching. And obviously another victory for Arsenal as well, which is always nice. So that's another. What's that? Is that three? Is that 3 wins in the league in a row now? That's pretty. It's pretty good, isn't it? Shame we couldn't have done that when it was important earlier in the season. But anyway, we need to enjoy it, I guess. But thanks for watching, Thomas. I look forward to seeing you again in the chat next time. So yeah, a decent, a fantastic result. A good defensive performance, I say, solid and strong. And we've got a little bit lucky at times, maybe. A couple of opportunities Chelsea had, they didn't make the most of, but sometimes when you're away from home, that's what you need, don't you? You need to take your chance when you get it, which we did, and then you need to defend well, and we did as well. And I thought overall we probably deserved that. We deserved that little bit of luck that we got, and it's good to see. Kevin says there, Partey another step towards being in charge. Yeah, no, it was a good performance from Thomas Partey. It leaves me a little bit frustrated that a few players played well tonight, but when it mattered in the big games recently, they didn't show up. And that's a worry. It's easy to play well when there's no pressure on you. And, that's what's happened, hasn't it? Thomas Partey tonight, very good performance. It was. But it's a little bit frustrating, isn't it? Why didn't he turn up last week against Villarreal? Why couldn't he have put in this sort of performance then when it mattered? And not just him, others as well have been the same. Too many players that have let us down when it's really mattered. So I'm not going to get too overexcited from some performances tonight. Good performance and a good victory as it was. Let's hope though this can be the springboard for next season. These kind of away results, which we've lacked, haven't we? Winning away at the traditional Big Six, if you like. We've done that twice this season now. When was the last season we won 2 away games at the Big Six, 2 clean sheets as well in them games? Let's remember as well, 2 1-0 victories. So yeah, I mean, that's a positive, definitely, because it's probably been 15 years since we won away at 2 of the big 6 in the same season, isn't it? Maybe more, maybe longer ago than that. Actually, thinking about it, it's been a long time. So that's a massive positive. It doesn't alter the frustration. It doesn't change the fact that we are 8th in the league and teams around us have got games in hand, so we still could finish lower, even if we win our last 2 games. And that's not really a progression anyway, is it? Because we finished 8th last season and we won the FA Cup, so we've gone backwards, you could say. Yes, there's been signs, as I say, winning away at Man United, winning away at Chelsea, are positive signs, but yeah, I don't know. It leaves me a little bit frustrated, actually, I suppose. Terry says, night pop, they're talking to Thomas, of course, and Terry says, Arteta must be feeling dizzy. He must be scratching his head a little bit, as well as we all are, as to why we can produce some really good performances this season, which we have done, mainly away from home. But we've also produced some really, really poor performances as well, that's cost us in important games, and ultimately why we are now where we are in the league table and out of all the competition. So, yeah, it's frustrating for me. But obviously tonight we just need to enjoy the victory. Really good victory in the end, of course. I say it's not often we win these big games away from home, is it? Yes, we did get a little bit lucky with a goal. We got a bit lucky on a couple of other occasions that Chelsea didn't make the most of their opportunities. But I think they've got a little bit bigger fish to fry in the next few weeks, haven't they? So yeah, as Terry said, London is red tonight. It's definitely red tonight, but overall this season it hasn't really been red, has it? We've got to look at you've got to look at what Chelsea have done, and they still could lose the 2 finals. Let's hope they do, and then maybe London will be red, but we'll see. But it's certainly been a good night, hasn't it, for us? A really I would say important victory in terms of the season, but an important victory maybe the confidence, obviously, for Arteta as well, because I think it's important. If we'd lost our last 4 games of the season, then that would have probably definitely been the end for him. Whereas if we do pull off these next 2 victories as well, and look at those 2 games, potentially got to say Palace away, our away form's good, although Palace will have their fans behind them. That might make a difference possibly, but again, they've got nothing to really play for. They've been on holiday for a while, Palace, so you'd expect we'll go there and win. And yeah, and then Brighton at home, of course, they're safe now, aren't they, as well? So, and we've got our fans behind us that day, assuming that people actually go to the game rather than just protesting. So we could end with 4 or 5 victories in a row in the league, which is just going to cover up all the rest of the stuff that went before it, really. But anyway, if that's the case, you can't do any more than win the games, can you? And if we do that, then it'd be brilliant, I suppose. And maybe something to build on going into next season. Let's hope so, because we need something to cling to, don't we? Because it has been so disappointing. Kevin says, yeah, night, Richard. Once again, thank you for a good show. No, thanks for watching, Kevin. I hope you're feeling okay, mate. Thanks for your message earlier as well. Really, really appreciate your support and your kind words. I look forward to seeing you back on the show again next time, which at the moment may well be the weekend, a live show. I say the FA Cup memories, FA Cup final memories. I'm hoping to get that up and running. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure that'll be a good show. And Terry says, yeah, night, Kevin, take care. Yeah, indeed, we echo that. So, yeah, I mean, thanks to everyone for watching tonight. I hope you've enjoyed, obviously you must have enjoyed the victory, of course, and enjoyed the show. If you did, please give it a like before you leave. There's more people, I say, watching than have liked it. So if you haven't liked it yet, you've only got to press a button. It only takes 2 seconds, and it just helps the channel it helps YouTube to know that people have watched the video as well. And it just helps with the algorithms and all that kind of stuff. I don't really know how it works, but the more likes it gets, the better. So if you are watching it, just give it a like. I say it'll take 2 seconds just to click the thumbs up. That's what you need to do. And then that does help. And if you haven't subscribed, if maybe you're new here, there might be 1 or 2 people out there watching that haven't found the channel before. I do watch-alongs of the games, but this channel's a lot more than that as well. I do look at the history of the club because it's so important to me personally. So there'll always be videos on the history of the club. There's a lot on there already. If you haven't seen them, please go and check some of them out as well. And I say this weekend, I'm going to be doing a show on FA Cup final memories, if I can't get enough people to come on with me, I'll just do one on my own, looking back at the memories that I've got of several FA Cup finals that I've been to, watching Arsenal win most of them, but not all of them. There's been a couple of defeats in there as well, I think. So, but yeah, that'll be at the weekend. That's coming up as well. I might do a review video of this game tomorrow. I'm finding that the pre-recorded videos aren't really getting many views, and I think people prefer the live videos because you can interact and get your comments on and stuff like that. And maybe that's a better way. So I might start doing a lot more live stuff now. I might do a live match preview tomorrow, actually, instead of doing a pre-recorded one. Maybe do that tomorrow afternoon if anyone's around, and maybe watch that and you can get involved in that. So I might do it that way from now on, just because I say the pre-recorded ones, they take a lot of time to do with the editing and the images that you add into them and all that kind of stuff. And they're not really getting that many views. And I'm wondering if it's worth the time I'm putting into them, really. But if you guys want them, I will still do them. But I might do it live tomorrow and see how that goes. Maybe I might do it tomorrow night, actually. I might do a little live show, a match review of this game. Maybe get Melvin on. He's always a good guest, isn't he, Melvin? Our great guest who's basically a resident on the show, really, isn't he? So I might get him to come on tomorrow, maybe talk about the game and stuff like that. So I might do it live instead. I think live shows are better, really. And Terry there says, so spot on, Richard, again. Nice to see you. So laid back for a change. Nightshade and Tracy and Russ. We'll sleep well tonight. Yeah, we'll all sleep better, won't we? A nice victory away at Chelsea. Shame the fans weren't there really to enjoy it. I'm sure it would have been a good game to have been at. You know, that second half would have been tense, wouldn't it, when they were putting us under pressure? But ultimately, a glorious finale for Arsenal, hanging on to that 1-0 victory. So yeah, thanks all you guys for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. You know, Kevin and Terry and Shane in particular, you're always around, aren't you, in the chat for me, which is good. And Thomas as well, of course. Terry's dad, it's always good to see him as well. So thanks to everyone who's been watching tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. And yeah, so stay tuned, channel. I will do a live review video tomorrow. Check on Twitter. I'll put links to it on whatever time I get around to doing it. I might do it tomorrow night, actually. Rather than during the day, probably get more of an audience at night. So look out for that. And then I say coming up at the weekend is going to be the big FA Cup final memories show, which is going to be really, really good. That I'm looking forward to that. So please stay tuned for that. And Terry says there, I appreciate whatever you put out. Oh, that's really nice of you, Terry. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. So thanks for the support. I will be obviously doing loads more stuff coming up anyway. I know there's not many games left now, just 2 more this season. One more women's game, which I'll cover Sunday as well in the FA Cup against Crystal Palace. That's actually Joe Montemuro's last game, because the FA Cup in the women's being after this round, they're not going to play the rest of the competition until the start of next season now. So we'll have a new coach in charge at that point. But I will cover that game. It is his last game. So we have to give him the proper send-off he deserves for a great career he's had at Arsenal, hasn't he? So that's coming up on Sunday as well. So we're doing the FA Cup show before that anyway. So thanks to everyone for watching. Thank you for your support. I say please like the video before you leave. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And I say, as finished at Stamford Bridge tonight, it's been nearly 10 years since we've never say this. Arsenal won away at Chelsea. It finished Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. Emil Smith-Rowe with a goal, his second Premier League goal in consecutive games, having previously not scored in the Premier League in his career. So great for him. Let's hope he can continue that run next week. We can continue our winning run as well. For 3 in a row now in the league, isn't it? With 2 left to play. Let's hope we can finish on a high at least. Won't get rid of the frustrations for the season, but you know, winning games feels nice, doesn't it? And it's good to get one over on Chelsea as well with the season that they've been having. So yeah, a good night all in all for Arsenal. Good defensive performance, a good 3 points, and maybe that Europa Conference League might well be on the cards after all. And do we want it or not? I don't know, but I guess it's better than not being in Europe at all, isn't it? And maybe it might save Arteta's job this summer, possibly, mightn't it? And we can maybe start to rebuild properly if we get that. So, but anyway, we'll see how that works. But I just remembered I forgot. I've got my new graphic. Hold on, I'm gonna have to play it now because we did score a goal and I forgot to do it. I was excited. So that was for Emil Smith-Rowe, of course, who did get the goal about 2 hours ago now. But anyway, I forgot to do it at the time. I got too excited that we scored. But anyway, that'll be. I'll remember it next time. Hopefully for the last couple of games of the season. But I say thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Stay tuned for the match review video, the show tomorrow. And I say the FA Cup memories at the weekend, and then of course the Arsenal women on Sunday as well. So busy schedule coming up on the channel as always. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support, and of course following a great Arsenal victory tonight. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. Come on, you Gunners! No, North London. Well, London is red. London is red. Saturday tonight. See you soon, guys. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,